All right, everybody, happy Halloween from our newsroom. We're live here in DC at Fox 5. DC, welcome to our stream here on YouTube. And if you're on our website, I'm here with our social media editor, Risa. Hi, guys. And we're so happy to have you. We just came down from what was an amazing, creative Halloween show. They do it every year in the morning show. And so we were up there kind of documenting and taking a look. And take a look at our Instagram because we did a video there.
Oh, yeah, guys. It was a spectacular show. We had so many stars live in the loft. It was an amazing transition. So take a regular, newsroom, studio, and then transform that into a dungeon. Beautiful. It was really done up. Our team worked really hard. We had an entire makeup crew that came in.
Yes.
A celebrity stylist, Tam Lee, if you are familiar with her. She's the one responsible for making this happen as far as like the outfits go. It was just an amazing time, and
really cool.
We documented everything on Twitter and Instagram, so please check it out, Fox 5 DC.
Yes, definitely check us out there. It was so fun to see our talent, our news anchors and reporters in character. And it's an exciting day here. Just to kind of preface what our day is going to be about, I'm just listening to what video is coming in right now. But actually, guys, it is not only Halloween, but it's also the day of the world champion Boston Red Sox parade in Boston. This was obviously them winning the World Series on Sunday, and the parade. We had some amazing aerials right now and some reporter coverage from Fox News. So we're going to bring you that coverage in a second. Otherwise, if we have anything breaking in our newsroom, we'll bring you that live news. So stay tuned for that. But we're in the Halloween spirit. We're
excited. Your lips are giving me life.
The mood. And here we have like a bunch of wigs and hats. We're like, what are we gonna wear today? So we've been playing around with that. But yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Washington. It's like 70 degrees, kind of a weirdly
warm, but yeah, weirdly warm. We had a weird winter, anyways. Our winter outcast was put out yesterday, I believe. Mike Thomas has an entire write-up on our web. So in DC, we have an odd November and December where the temperatures are going to flux between warm and cool. And in January and February, from what I remember, is when the cold will settle in, which is kind of weird, right? Because I think of December, it's already freezing. I think of snow. I mean, that's everybody's dream, right? A little white Christmas. But we'll see if that happens, because if it's going to be warm and cold, I don't know.
And if this is relevant to you, if you are in the DMV area, check out that weather outlook if you want to know more about what the winter holds here in Washington, because it's right there on Twitter. And you can follow us on all those platforms, Fox 5 DC. And I know, Rice, you're going to be doing some cutting of some video from this morning and getting the events together. So,
so I'm going to quickly cut a few clips, and I'm going to post that on our Instagram so you guys can get a little bit more of a feel for the amazing show that we had today.
Yeah,
so,
super fun. Very creative.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes.
And happy one.
Awesome. Well, we'll go right up to Boston, where we have some amazing aerials of this parade. And you know, tons of people are going to be in costume for Halloween, and many of them likely skipped work for this parade. So we're going to be watching that. So hang on with us if this interests you. Here we go. Coverage here of the Boston Red Sox parade.
I mean, he's adjusted to pitching in Boston, and, you know, I'm happy for him.
He said over and over again, this is why I came to Boston, for this moment, this championship, this celebration. So congrats to David Price. What a postseason for him.
This is some of the training staff that I remember.
Lots of little ones on that duck boat.
Oh, yeah. But it's awesome. Fabulous. They're having a great time. Listening to music, it doesn't get any better.
Here come your people, Manny.
Oh yeah, that's Jason Veritek. I see him over there hiding behind the speaker.
Steve Wright, Craig Kimbrell.
That's Matt Barnes right there.
Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
So many questions about the Red Sox bullpen right throughout the season. You were talking about this. They were a question mark, but they delivered.
No, they absolutely quiet everybody down. And you know, they shut the door. All the questions were answered. They made it happen.
Let's say hello to San De Leon, Christian Vasquez, Cookie Jackson, Blake Swihart.
Yeah, that's San De Leon saying hi. You know, whole teammate with a couple different teams. So,
what is it like for you to be able to see your, former teammates doing this now?
The sad thing is that I feel like I can still be playing, but you know, this is a good transition, and I mean, seeing them, you know, obviously winning, like, it brings back memories. But I'm really, really happy, like, for them. You know, humble and happy for them. But it's unbelievable. These guys are having a great time, so it's great.
It's just gonna be great to see them. I don't know. Oh, this is a neat little contraption here. With our Do Damage logo, I think it was very fitting. They they closed out these series on the road.
Yes, we did the same thing in 07 against Colorado. We swept them, and we won over there. Like, I wish we would have won in Boston. Right. I was hoping that they would bring it back, but, you know, it's better to get it done and over with, which
after
they
all
did.
Those late nights, I don't know if I could have handled a game.
Oh, I know.
We still got some big names to come yet, though.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Yeah, but going back to what you said about the bullpen, like, those guys, absolutely, they pretty much nailed it all playoffs. Because there was a lot of questions about the bullpen. You know, Devers at third. Yeah. Was JBJ going to be able to hit? Like, they didn't know. And everybody contributed on his team, which made it even better.
It really goes back to Alex Cora's decision-making, too. You know, he made the right moves at the right time.
Never made a mistake. I felt like everything he did was perfect every time.
Now we hear a familiar chant right now for Mookie Betts.
I would think that's Mookie Betts over there.
You know, he carried the team a lot this year. He was such a presence the entire season. Love watching that kid play.
Well, I mean, he can do it all. Plays good, Gold Glove in right field, hits well, runs well. I mean, that kid's going to have a bright future, like, for a long time.
Hopefully in Boston, right?
In Boston, hopefully.
I think this is duck boat number 25 that is just passing us by with the continued heavy police presence that led him, that is now following up the rear here. unbelievable. Like you said, Boston has done this before. They do it right. The fans are fantastic. The players taking in every moment of this, and this parade's just getting rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it brings back memories, and not teary-eyed, but because I wish I was out there with them. But just so happy with the organization has done in the past years, and this well deserved. 119 wins total. They deserve all of this.
You might not be teary-eyed, but when I see David Ortiz do anything in Boston, I cry. I can't help it. It's awesome to see him, Pedro, everyone back here, and everyone giving you shout-outs too. It's really fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, like I always said, if I'm not getting, if people aren't saying hi to me or chanting my name sometimes, that means I got to move out of Boston. But I'm the local boy, and I think I was born and raised here, and I'm gonna die here. So it's an awesome city.
So we're really kicking off this parade here. It's just getting rolling. We're at the corner of Boylston and Ipswich, and so obviously they go all the way down Boylston Street. Next stop on the parade route will be right in Copley Square, where Ock and Vanessa have been standing by throughout the morning, and they will be seeing the duck boats next.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I would imagine soon.
You can see the people clearing out now, which
a little bit. They can't go too far because they are kind of barricaded in here. A lot of them, though, they're going to try to walk down, just be a part of this or catch it at another section if they can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some will go home, but it's, they were amazing. They kept it clean, no trouble. Nobody tried to go over the barriers. It was, it was an awesome parade.
It was.
And awesome to be part of. They made me really excited and brought a lot of memories for me, so it was pretty good.
So you were telling me a really interesting story about Alex Cora when you guys were teammates, and just about, how skilled he was at managing this team this year, bringing out the best in people. And you said he was kind of even coaching you as a player.
Yeah, I mean, the time that we played was, I think, 07, 08. I mean, he would sit right by Terry Francona, by the edge of the dugout, and kind of you can just tell he was going to be a bench coach or a manager someday just because he likes paying attention that much. And for myself, I used to tip my pitches, throw my breaking ball at the time, and he told me, he goes, man, you're tipping your breaking ball. And sure enough, I went back.
In case people don't know that terminology, it means you were kind of
I was showing, I was pretty much showing what I'm going to throw, like if I'm going to throw my breaking ball or not. Yeah. So he pretty much grabbed me aside. I saw a video, and he was right. I was tipping my breaking ball, and and stuff like that. After Joe Kelly and Kimbrel supposedly tipping as well throughout the postseason, and hitters were picking it up. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a little bit to do with the adjustment they made to get through all that, and it's pretty good.
And you said you used to watch him in the clubhouse there. He was always sitting near Tito, near Terry Francona.
Yeah, he's always you can tell like during the game he was always, if he wasn't playing, he was on the edge of the bench with Terry Francona, just trying to pick and see what moves to make and what was right for the game, but I mean, he went to Houston as a bench coach. Yep. They won a World Series over there. Comes to Boston, first-year manager, wins 108 games, and he's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the Midas touch there. Do you think there was one moment in this postseason that sealed it for you? Did you kind of see this coming at some point?
I mean, to me, I'm not going to say it's just for the World Series. I'm going to say it's what they did all year.
Yeah.
I mean, there was numerous games that I would turn the TV on, and the Red Sox are down by 5 innings in the 7th inning, and then I'll go get something to drink and come back, and the Red Sox are now up 7-5. So, they did it all year. So what stuck out to me is how well they played together, and they stayed united all year.
And to keep that winning streak going up to 119 wins. Unbelievable. Let's head back to Butch and Adam, still inside Fenway Park. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. How are you? Nice to see you. It's good to be back here.
Yeah, and we're in nice, 25. Cozy Fenway Park. I don't see any duck boats.
No, they were on Lansdowne Street. Remember, in 2013, they were actually in the park.
Yeah, they were in the park, but they didn't want to risk ripping up the field here because of high school football they got coming up on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, they do.
Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, from what we see, it's what we expected. There's like 1 million people out on the streets. Right. It's a beautiful day. It's Halloween. It's a perfect setting for a parade. And look, we've had plenty of experience with these parades in the past. We've had all sorts of weather. This is one of the best days we've had.
Well, and we also had some news today. I mean, David Price had till midnight tonight to decide to opt out of his contract or opt in. And right over here, out of the dugout, before he went on the duck boats, he announced he's opting in. I'm not going anywhere. I was a little surprised. I honestly thought he might opt out.
Yeah, I think going into the postseason, my thought was if he pitches well, mission accomplished in Boston, it's on to the next phase of his career. Because, hey, let's face it, he's gone through a lot here in Boston. There's been a lot that David Price has had to deal with. He's had to overcome some things. And whether he was right or wrong, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, you know, he wants to be here for not just this World Series championship. He wants to win another. And after Game 1 of the ALDS against the Yankees, he said as much. He said, look, you know, I don't want to just win one. I want to win multiple championships here in Boston. So if you remember those comments, this should come as no surprise, at least from, you know, what he said at the start of the post.
Well, guys, after Price made the announcement, I ran around trying to get some reaction. I got some from Brock Holt. I got some from John Henry. But I got some from Pedro Martinez. And Pedro, as always, was brutally honest. And he sort of alluded to the fact that he thought that Price wanted to prove to himself the way he pitched in the World Series and in the postseason. And once he did, that solidified him coming back. So I don't doubt that. I agree with what Pedro said. I think obviously the way he pitched in the postseason did prove to himself and probably solidified him coming back. But I would imagine his agent was out there making phone calls too, because he's got 127 million reasons to come back here, guaranteed. And, you know, let's be honest here. There might have not been anybody else at 32, 33 years old that was going to give him $127 million.
No, and that's the agent's job, is to explore options. I mean, you signed that contract for a reason, and so that was what he did. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that, you know, David Price either way was going to stay in Boston, whether he wanted or whether he didn't. So he is staying. He confirmed that today. All
right, Adam Peller and Butch Stearns, we're here at Fenway Park. You are watching the Red Sox World Championship Parade.
I'm Jeff Deal, the guy who stopped automatic gas tax hikes. And now
over and over that played a role in their success. And I think that helped these fans just rally around them and feel a connection with them as well.
Well, I think these fans, it took a while for them to realize that this team was as good as it really was. I think they wondered if they got a head start on the season, things were going well. As you take a look at the Duck Boats right here, and were they going to be able to maintain that level of play? They never lost more than 4 games the whole season. They took it all the way to 108 wins, as we know, 119 when you add in the postseason as well. So So they are all in with this team now. And really, it's a testament to Alex Cora and these players because he's a new coach. You've got to cotton to what he says and follow the game plan, and they did. They trusted in him, and that's very rare at any sport to get your first-year manager, your first-year coach to be someone everybody buys into, and you look at what it means for them. Ultimate success, obviously a lot of talent in so many facets of this ball club, but Alex Cora was the main thing that started at training camp and preseason and everything else.
Yeah, the players said they felt more comfortable playing with him, more relaxed, and that also led to their success. He really encouraged them also to be aggressive early, to swing early, and to score early, and it worked.
Yeah, swing training, that's where it all started. There was a mindset that he instilled in his ball club as they make their way along on these duck boats. There's Joe Kelly. You know, there were times when people doubted this team too. Even in the postseason, people doubted the bullpen. People doubted Joe Kelly and other pitchers at times. And then what did they do in the World Series and in the postseason? They were dominant.
Joe Kelly with his...
Flip the switch.
Look at that. You know, as we heard earlier, the children of the Red Sox team have really become a part of this team, have really become a part of the fan base as well. We've enjoyed them having their children at the press conferences after the game, and we see Joe Kelly and his family here, and it is just so special.
And Craig Kimbrell, we know, was very emotional after the game when they finally won the World Series, and holding his daughter Lydia, and they were, you know, had gone through a couple of procedures, a couple of surgeries, and to be, you know, back at spring training, he was a little bit delayed getting there. The team said take as much time as you need. He eventually arrived. Obviously had a great season as a closer, had a couple stumbles in the postseason, but when it mattered most, he delivered.
He sure did. And earlier we were looking at the picture of Joe Kelly. That's his wife Ashley and their son Knox. He had him on his shoulders earlier, just letting his son take this all in. And as we know, Kelly was the winning pitcher in Game 4 of the World Series when the Sox rallied down from 4 runs to beat the Dodgers. And the folks behind us are getting louder because we are starting to see some duck boats come our way.
You can see them coming down. A police escort in front. And this is where it happens, because you start to hear the wall of noise come through the buildings and come down right past the Boston Public Library. So
Christian
left
Vasquez
to right is the way it goes.
That's right. Christian Vasquez and Sandy Leone just passed us in that tugboat. And who do we have here?
Blake Swihart, Sandy Leone, Christian Vasquez, 3 catchers on a postseason roster. That's not something you normally see, but that's Alex Cora. He wants to have all the different game pieces in play, and they did a great job.
And there's that World Series trophy. It's pretty, isn't it?
It certainly is. I saw on one of the alumni boats, Pedro holding one above his head for the longest time. I wondered how they could do it. Then he reached over the side and kind of dropped it towards the crowd. I wouldn't want to drop one of those things. There's a precious metal right there.
We heard Brock Holt saying earlier that the players were just as much looking forward to this parade as the fans were. And as we see the smiles on their faces, we can tell that they are taking it all in and enjoying this celebration just as much as we are.
Well, I'm taking it all in. I know that. The police have gone by. We have a few trucks behind us, and then the first duck boat, I'd say about 500 yards up the street, just started to come by the Boston Public Library. There's Mookie Betts, as he said. Mookie Betts, of course, AL MVP. What do you think? I don't think there's any doubt in that, right?
No doubt at all. And, you know, he also got a lot of press for feeding the homeless here in Boston.
Right on these steps over my shoulder.
Yes, he had ordered some food from a restaurant nearby, and there was so much left over, he said to his family, we need to go feed the homeless with this food and take care of people in Boston. And what a great guy he is, both on and off the field.
Mookie Betts, of course, had that big home run in the final game of the World Series, and you know he struggled a bit in the World Series, but that point, you could tell a weight was really lifted off his shoulders, and he was able to enjoy it. And then we saw him in the post game, and we actually saw Mookie and his dad embrace for the first time. Can you imagine the journey for a player like Mookie Betts and his dad? Their whole lives, just start your son in Little League. You never dreamed he'll be a World Series champion. You hope. And it certainly came true in Los Angeles the other night.
And what a year it's been for him. He and his girlfriend are expecting a child next month as well. So just an incredible year for Mookie Betts.
The duck boats have arrived here in Copley Square. Of course, the confetti blows on the fans. They love that as well. It gets them into it.
The confetti is flying, the music's playing.
We had 5 people, 10 people, 15. Now I'd say 25 to 30 people. What they'll do is they'll run down side streets to catch a second glimpse of them. Dropkick Murphys, shipping up to Boston. The greatest sports city in the land, right here.
What a celebration for our world champion Red Sox.
And here's our first duck boat coming behind right here. The Dropkick Murphys. On the boat with David Ortiz and Pedro Martinez, the front office. And the owners, John Henry, Tom Warner, President Sam Kennedy, owner Linda Pizzuti Henry.
You had an incredible interview with John Henry after the World Series win, and he told you that this is the best Red Sox team in Red Sox history.
Well, I think the numbers bear it out, you know, and I asked him about Alex Cora in particular. I said, how did you know AC was the right guy for the job? He just said, what you said earlier, there was an even keel to the guy. Yeah. He has a calm confidence. He had obviously been a player, then he was a bench coach in Houston, and they just said it just clicked. And they just had a feeling and a gut feeling, and sometimes that's all it takes. Dave Dombrowski following in duck boat number 2. Of course, he helped put this team together 21 years after his last World Series. Tony La Russa brought in, and Gene Levanchi had talked about that before as we take a look at more duck boats here. Tremendous manager in Major League Baseball, Hall of Famer, really, when you think about it. And he was there every night. They could show cutaways, and he'd be making notes on his chart and everything else. And you wondered, you know, how hard is it to be a former manager with such success and just sit up top and kind of observe and take notes now in your career? But he said, you know what, I'm a consultant. I love my job. I want to be around the game. And I'll tell you what, I'd really like to know how much he put into this team, because I'm sure it was a tremendous amount.
Let's check in with Garen Austin. She is on one of the duck boats. Garen, what's it like over there?
Oh my God, you guys, you can't even believe this environment. There are so many people. It's like a party in the streets. I'm here with Eduardo Nunez. Hang on, we gotta get some photos. But one thing you really have to be careful of is the flying beers. You guys, they're coming at you. Fans are.
Yeah, we can't hear,
So we're back here now. Once again, live Copley Square as you're looking at the duck boats coming through. JBJ, let's talk about Jackie Bradley Jr. if we can for a minute, because JBJ at times had to, you know, take it for the team and not be in the starting lineup up in Los Angeles. But when he got his chance, he came up with a big home run, obviously. He had the grand slam earlier in the playoffs. Just a fantastic story, and a guy who really is one of the best center fielders in the baseball, up for a Gold Glove this year. So, you know, that outfield was something that I talked to some Dodger fans about. And they said, you guys have this abundance of riches in Boston. I mean, you've got the all-star started lineup out in that outfield. Benintendi, Betts, Bradley, and we saw it throughout. Mitch Moreland just went by. Steve Pearce, your MVP, and Kinsler as well. Veteran presence.
You were talking about Alex Cora earlier, and our producer Caitlin McLaughlin watched an interview that Brock Holt did at the beginning of the postseason, and he was talking about right when spring training started, Alex Cora called each player individually, took them out to dinner individually, and said, hey, I want to know what you liked about this team in the past and what you didn't like, and how we can make some changes to make things better. And he said that's when he knew that AC, as they call him, was special, because he took that individual time to meet with each and every player and to then find out what they liked and didn't like and make changes. And that may have been the secret sauce, the recipe that got this whole team started.
Well, you know, he was a former player himself, so they can relate one-on-one, obviously. And he had sat down with David Price and a group of 4 Red Sox players. I know in Florida, he called them, David Price said, we were the 4 to 4. So we wanted to talk with them about that. They sat down and we were able to talk about what they envisioned for the season and get on the same page as Jerry Remy goes by. And that was something, I'll tell you, it's great to see Jerry Remy at Fenway Park, such a beloved member of Red Sox Nation. Dustin Pedroia coming by on the duck boat right now with Brock Holt, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Andrew Benintendi. And you know, you think about Dustin Pedroia, and had his injured knee, couldn't really get back, got back briefly with the team this season. And, you know, it was great to see him in terms of being able to be around this team late in the season as he tried to rehab. But Dustin Pedroia is such an integral part of this team for so many years. Had to be a bit difficult for him to watch. Yep. But obviously he's smiling on his face. He's excited for this team. Excited to be a part of it.
We've got Eduardo Nunez, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Xander Bogaerts. What a duck boat right there.
Erod. Somebody, he's not pitching, he's catching. And it's
catching
cold,
beers.
and it's refreshing. I'm going to just leave it at that, folks.
Catching beers.
We got Wally the Green Monster, a fan favorite for the young fans in Red Sox Nation, as they continue to stream down here.
We may not have the camera angle where you can see this, but fans who are in the crowd are throwing beers to the players, and they're catching them. So fun. More members of the front office making their way in the next duck boat.
You know, that's part of something that, you know, every ball club, it's not just the players. There's such a backdrop of other people that are making this possible. The front office, I know Manny, I think, touched on it a little bit earlier. They're so important to everything. Your traveling secretary is the guy who makes sure everybody's on the plane at the right time, your luggage gets there, and you can be on the road for several games but not feel like you're away from home because, you know, you've got your thing as far as, all right, my bag arrived on time, I can get to the hotel, I can get to where I need to be, I can get to the ballpark on time. Those people facilitate all that. The people who sell the tickets, the people who sell the advertising, that pays these players' salaries, which we know are enormous. So it all is, you know, a team effort from top to bottom for these professional sports teams. It's nice to see the front office and a lot of the executives get there just do.
J.D. Martinez. J.D. Martinez and Rafael Devers.
And the championship trophy, and J.D. Martinez has that. What can you say about Rafael Devers, all of 22 years old? And here he is on the duck boat.
Turned 22 during the World Series and had some hot bats. He was incredible this season.
You know, that's the big thing about Devers. That kid was cool as a cucumber. It was like he didn't realize the stage he was on.
Exactly.
He just wanted to play ball. And I loved his remarks after Chris Sale lit into the team, but then we get to the little funk there. And he ended up saying, well, he got in, yelled, and he was like, oh my gosh, I've never even heard him say these types of words. It really took them back.
And when he spoke, they listened. And I feel like that was a complete game changer.
Absolutely. Ryan Brazier going by now. And Ryan Brazier, I think, is one of the great stories of the Red Sox. He's there with Eve Hembry, Brandon Wortman, but Ryan Brazier was out of baseball for several years, went over to the Far East to play, and then finally came back. So a veteran who hung in there, played independent ball, and eventually they went back to the top.
The cheers are picking up out here as David Price's duck boat is here now. Lots of fans cheering for him.
David
what a postseason redemption story he had.
Nathan Eovaldi, Jude Pomerantz. And David Price is going to be back once again next year, like that. Chris Sale, I'm back, I'm in. Why would you leave? I mean, I know people talk about money, but come on, this is funny money when you get to this level.
And it doesn't get any better than this, right?
And be a part of a winner because you can make a lot of money and be miserable someplace else. I believe that. You want to stay here in Boston. You got a good thing going.
It's going to be interesting to see which players stay and which players go. You know, all of us fans would just hope that we could repeat this team again and keep all of them.
All right, next we got the bullpen.
Craig Kimbrell, Jason Varitek, and Stephen Wright, and Joe Kelly as well.
You know, we talked about this in our postgame. Great to see Jason Varitek with this ball club, the captain of the squad. World Series champion many times over himself, and what he brings to this team and a young team and molding them into what it takes to be a championship squad.
And you think about Craig Kimbrell, and just what a moment for him and his family. His daughter Lydia having those 2 surgeries, heart surgeries, at such a young age. He missed part of spring training because of that. The players rallied around him. They had Lydia's strong t-shirts, and that again just gives you another sense of how close this team is.
When it comes to Medicare, don't go it alone.
So obviously we are continuing to stream the World Series champion Boston Red Sox championship parade in Boston, as they do it every time they do win. They have the duck boats kind of parading down Boylston Street and some of the other streets there in downtown, and they happen to be doing it today, Halloween morning. So you know a lot of people either took work off or they skipped it to get in costume and celebrate, or obviously just wear the Red Sox gear. But we're going to kind of keep this on as long as we can get it in from Fox, our channel up there. And that is coming into our newsroom right now. Other than that, right now we're anticipating a couple other events today. President Trump is hosting another rally in Florida later on this evening. We'll have that coverage for you on our Facebook page later tonight, as well as some other Get Out the Vote rallies. Vice President Pence participating in one of those coming up shortly. If we get that in, we're going to show you that live as well. So we are gearing up for Election Day, 6 days away now, and we'll be having kind of a special summary roundup show here on our YouTube channel for you on Election Day for some of the important races on Tuesday, November 6th. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be kind of doing a later stream that day to give you all the polls, closing results, and everything like that on Tuesday. So stay tuned with us for that. We'll go back to this parade. As always, getting coverage in from our network, and you'll hear the reporter's commentary as well throughout the parade. So we'll take it as long as we got it, right up in Boston, right here from our station in DC, Fox 5 DC.
A little bit of TC, we'll take it, right? Mookie Betts on this orange duck boat here.
All right, there he is.
We love you,
Betts,
Mookie.
MVP to move. The Red Sox Nation has its way.
Mookie Betts just 26 years old, his 4th season with the Red Sox. Hit that home run in the 6th inning of the deciding Game 5 of the World Series off Clayton Kershaw, and that was incredible.
Well, Mookie Betts did it all for this team throughout the year, and he is the last member of the Red Sox World Series champions to go through on the duck boats here at Copley Square. But what a ride it was to watch these guys, huh?
It was incredible, and just to see the fans' faces light up as they saw their favorite players come through. And as you mentioned, Doc, what was also so special is they had members of the medical staff and the trainers. We even did a story last night with a nanny for the Red Sox, the woman who keeps the children while the players are playing. She also was on one of these duck boats. So they really get everyone who is behind this team involved and let them experience this celebration as well.
I love to see, members of all of the teams that win World Series here in Boston as well. Former players who are back. So you've got 04, you got 07, you got 13, you got 18. Each team, as I said, has its own distinct thumbprint. You look back at 04 was the first one that snapped the curse of 86 years. 07's team had high expectations and actually met them. 13, of course, after the bombing, and now 18, the best team in Red Sox history.
Let's send it out now to Elizabeth Hopkins. Hey, Lily.
Hey, I'm with Jemai Webster, who has been on tenterhooks here. I mean, you have followed this team for so many games, and now here they are. We have been hearing the crowd just build with excitement, and it is ready to burst here.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Elizabeth. It feels like we've been waiting with anticipation, and the rolling rally and the confetti is beginning to fall, so it's kind of a culmination to a good season that's been for this Red Sox team. As you mentioned, I've been with these guys from the beginning. Had an opportunity to travel with Alex Cora to Puerto Rico earlier in the year in January after he was just hired, and now to see this, it feels like the journey is complete.
You know, it's interesting because behind us, I've been seeing Puerto Rican flags unfurl, and Alex had spoken about the fact that he wanted to bring this trophy home.
That's absolutely right. I mean, this was the goal coming out, and if you think about it, he's a two-time champion now because he won as a bench coach with the Houston Astros and now as a manager with the Boston Red Sox. Instead of one, obviously it's a lot sweeter as we have music running in the background. It's all part of the party, but the goal was accomplished for Alex Cora, and now that they're favorites to win it next year as well, we'll see if we can't be doing this and make it a yearly event.
I want to give the viewers a better shot, so I'm going to just step to the side. But we've been waiting here since this morning, and the crowd has slowly been building. It's been interesting because here we are on Halloween, and yet not very many Halloween costumes in the crowd. Everyone's come dressed as a Red Sox fan.
That's absolutely right. It's the costume of choice in 2018.
And we're looking.
Martinez.
That's the shot that you wait for.
We got all the folks. There's the commissioner's trophy. You're watching it right now. We see Sam Kennedy also wearing a Cafe Martin hat in honor of John Martin, our Nesson colleague who passed away just a couple weeks ago from his battle with ALS. So it's nice to see that being shown here at the parade. Dave Dombrowski, some of the members of the front office now here on the second Duck boat, giving us a wave and a thumbs up. So it's nice to see really that this is the culmination of a long season. I mean, this team has been special, won 108 wins and 11 more in the postseason. Second most since the 1998 Yankees as far as cumulative wins. So it's really something that should be celebrated, and we're seeing that today.
You know, we have 25 duck boats that are coming here. This is the corner of Boylston and Charles, and from this vantage point, it's been great to see the crowds come out. People have been in the windows of the buildings, and what we're seeing in some of the early and the first duck boats are members of the family. I mean, everybody's involved in this.
And now we're seeing members of the Red Sox Foundation. Becca Solwasser, she's on that duck boat that we're seeing here. And here comes Alex Cora and some of the coaching staff. Just want to show you guys this duck boat because this is essentially the brain trust of the team and the guys who were able to put this championship together.
You know, it's funny because, Jemai, after every Red Sox championship, Patriots championship, you start to hear the sermons being written, you start to hear the leadership conferences being written. I mean, you could write an entire semester's worth of stuff just on Alex Cora, how he interacts with his players, and what he did with his team, because you and I were talking about the fact that they had made it so far for several seasons, but Alex Cora was really the last piece of that to you to bring them through to this point.
Absolutely, you're 100% correct on that, Elizabeth. I mean, baseball is all about managing the personalities. You got these guys for 7 months out of the year, they're away from their families, and there's a lot that goes into being a baseball manager, and Alex Cora being the type of player's manager he was as a former player, the guys can really relate. He understands again. Not saying what they had in the past wasn't kind of the same thing, because a lot of former players have come and stepped in this role as managers, but Alex, his approach was very inclusive, and it involved everybody, a lot of his decisions as well, so the players can respect that, and it really touched close to home for them.
You know, Steve Pearce just went by, now members of
World Series MVP.
Yeah,
that's
just
right.
Incredible. I mean, people really got excited to see him in person. Now members of the front office are on the next duck boat. You know, you were talking a little bit about the fact that Alex Cora really isn't that far removed from any of the players in terms of age on the team. There's a way that he's able to connect with all of them.
No question.
And we're seeing Chris Sale, Rick Porcello going by. And we're getting recorded as well. Let's wave to their cameras, Jemai.
That's absolutely right. Those are some guys that I've had quite a bit of time spending time with throughout the season. Had an opportunity to travel with them a little bit and work the Red Sox sidelines during the broadcast.
Larry Lucchino on this duck boat, and you can see a lot of smiling faces on this green one. We're getting cheers.
That's right. They're all waving at us as well. They see us up here on the stanchion.
And now your home duck boat here, the Nesson duck boat, Jerry Rice, Jim Rice, a number of people from WEI as well aboard that duck boat.
Also my Nesson colleagues. Talking to Mike Naracci, who directs Red Sox games. He's done it for almost 20 years, who's also on that boat. So it's good to see they're able to also enjoy it because it's a collective effort.
Yeah. You know, Dustin Pedroia, Brock Holt coming by, as well as the clubhouse staff as we see this next one. It must be so incredible to be rolling down and seeing the adulation of these fans looking back at them, and it's well deserved.
100%. You spoke about Dustin Pedroia. Obviously, he's a guy who is kind of an emeritus person of the staff, had missed this season with his knee injury, but hopefully he's back next year.
Jemai, I know that we're going to take a quick break, but our coverage of the rolling rally down Boylston Street right now continues on Boston 25 News.
The 2018 Boston Red Sox have the most wins in team history and have won the
All right, and as they take a quick break from the parade, let's roll into a couple of top news stories from today and yesterday that we've been covering and following on a serious side of news here before we go back to the parade in Boston. The World Series champion Boston Red Sox parade coming to you live from our newsroom today. Take a look at some of the top stories, though. We'll start with the update, the latest on the Pittsburgh shooting from Saturday.
The President and First Lady arriving in Pittsburgh Tuesday, meeting with victims and community members after Saturday's deadly synagogue attack. Even before landing in Pennsylvania, the President's visit was highly criticized. Some community members charged the President with part of the blame for the shooting, pointing to his self-declared nationalism and past comments attacking minority groups. They believe his incendiary speech helped motivate the accused gunman, who harbored a deep hatred of Jews.
President Trump's rhetoric and President Trump's policies have paved the way for the type of white nationalist violence that has devastated our community.
Jewish leaders even drafted an open letter asking him to stay away. But the city remains focused on the 11 victims and their funerals. Large crowds gathering at Pittsburgh's largest and oldest synagogue, Rodef Shalom Temple, to say goodbye to a pair of brothers. Cecile and David Rosenthal were said to be inseparable and among the most prominent members of the Tree of Life Synagogue. Services for Daniel Stein and Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz also being held Tuesday. A full week of funerals is the next phase in what will be a painful, lengthy recovery.
Fortunately, this community has had a long, decade-long history of working together, helping each other.
The 46-year-old suspected gunman is being held in federal custody without bail. He's set to appear for a preliminary hearing on Thursday. He's been charged with hate crimes and faces the death penalty. In Pittsburgh, Matt Finn, Fox News.
Now, the president is making an argument here about how to interpret the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, and specifically whether it applies to the children of parents who are in the country illegally. As multiple caravans make their way north from Central America bound for the U.S. border, the president was asked about an issue that has been circulating behind the scenes at the White House: ending birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment. Right. Guess what? Amendment. You don't. Number one, you don't need that. Number two, that's in dispute. You could definitely that's very much in dispute. Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order.
The president making that argument in an Axios interview airing on HBO this Sunday. The 14th Amendment says that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. But do children of illegal immigrants fit that bill? Are they truly subject to the jurisdiction of the country?
All of this debate turns on these 6 rather ill-chosen words as to what was meant by being subject to the jurisdiction of the United States.
The Supreme Court has never really answered that specific question, but there are plenty of critics among constitutional scholars. And even Speaker of the House Paul Ryan told a Kentucky radio station yesterday that it can't be done.
Obviously cannot do that. You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order. We didn't like it when Obama tried changing immigration laws via executive action, and obviously as conservatives, we believe in the Constitution.
And it is tough to ignore the timing of all of this. Immigration has long been the president's signature issue, and those midterm elections are next week. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
It's in the process. It'll happen.
They need to address potentially Nathan Eovaldi, Steve Pearce, the World Series MVP. Guys, they probably wouldn't like to leave, but, that comes with it. It's baseball, and they'll turn over a new leaf and look to repeat next year.
I'm just going to point out, as there's a break in the parade coverage, that just beyond where the parade people are standing, there are trucks kind of blocking the roadway there, and that's more than just crowd control. That's, of course, also to make sure that no one can drive here. Obviously, we've seen a lot of police presence, and they've just been rolling in. The security has been rolling in, keeping an eye on everything. The bomb squad was here. Now, I do believe that we have a very special guest coming up on a duck boat pretty soon here. I just saw Craig Kimball, Jason Veritek, their duck boat just went by. But
that's right, members of the bullpen just passed us up. You see Craig Kimball, Matt Barnes, Joe Kelly, Stephen Wright, which appears to be the latest trophy. And now we see some of the backstops. Christian Vasquez with a nice point out. Good to see these guys, and this is just phenomenal. It really never gets old, Lily, and it's good to be a part of it.
Now, you know, Jemai, we've talked a lot about duck boats. Let's talk a little bit about duck boots. Obviously, the iconic duck boot is something that a lot of people are sporting here, and it also gets featured in the parade with a specialized Red Sox duck boot rolling down Boylston Street here.
I mean, they pulled out all the stops for this one. 2018 World Series champs with the hashtag do damage. More members of the front office coming down Boylston.
Now, one of the things that, as we've been seeing a lot of duck boats going past us, but what is it like on a duck boat? Let's take a look. We want to toss it out to one of the duck boats rolling down Boylston right now. We really have to be there because the fans are throwing stuff at us. The players are very good about managing the beers, and the fans have been very generous. We're seeing a lot of great signs, so much enthusiasm. I don't even think that the players expected this many people to come out. As you can see, these fans are pumped up. This is an absolute huge party. The fans are so excited about this team and what they've done for the city. And Charles, Jemai Webster is with me from Nesson, and I see that you've made some friends on the Red Sox, have you not? You've been waving at them, they've been waving at you.
Yeah, I know a few guys or two on the team, of the 25 guys who are on the roster, but we just saw Mookie Betts pass by who pointed us out. Got a good relationship with a few of the guys on the team, and it's a celebration for us all, I guess, because it's been a long season for everyone, and it's really good because of just the type of people they are on and off the field to see them able to experience their first World Championship.
Well, having seen them up close, you know, that close, what's your impression of this team, that sort of alchemy that's been so magic, that's worked for them to bring them to this point?
It starts with talent, for sure, up front. I mean, we got guys, he's the best player in baseball, potentially, in Mookie Betts, and for years to come, going to be with this club. You got the young core, the guys who started from their minor leagues all the way up into the big leagues, Jackie Bradley Jr., Andrew Benintendi, homegrown talent, really the core of this team, and then pitching up front. But I think they had all the pieces, but as I was telling you earlier, once Alex Cora was thrown into the group of people, he was able to mix it all together and get this result.
Well, I tell you what, this parade is continuing, and the two people who are very excited to come see it come their way are Tom and Casey. We're going to throw it over to them.
All right, so after all, it is Halloween, and we did get the thumbs up from Dave Dombrowski, so I'm
David Ortiz.
You're
Dennis Eckersley.
You
like the lettuce.
Right now. I know, I do.
And
like
you know what
lettuce.
Dennis Eckersley likes to do?
He likes to party.
Time to party!
Wait, I do. So it's a little bit cold out here, so I did bring an extra layer for
Oh, you have a little
Tom
something
Lydon.
extra.
Yeah,
All right.
so this is actually my lucky baseball dress.
Oh, I saw that. I saw you post that.
It's a little bit tight on me, but I think it should be a perfect fit for you. I mean, if you look at the outline,
it might come back.
It fits you. It fits you pretty well.
Let's step out of the way so people can see what's going on here.
So we got Jim Rice, Jerry Remy. Great to see Jerry Remy right there. What a sight to see. You got Joe Castiglione.
Well, where we are.
Crew. There's TC with the big smile on his face. Love that. There's Rachel Holt, Nesson.com. Cafe Martin hat over there as well. What the crowd.
Well, where we are right now, the people have waited very patiently for this parade of floats to come by, and they're just set to explode. What's great
and you
about
know what I will say, the people have been waiting patiently, and they're throwing things, and the Red Sox are saying, you know what, the season's over. We're not catching anything anymore. Dustin Pedroia is deflecting things right now. Oh, this is fantastic. I mean, this is controlled chaos. I mean, we've been saying it literally all day long.
What's great about this location is that we're at a place where there's high rises surrounding us, so this is as close to a ticker tape parade as we're going to get, because we had people up 20, 25 stories, dropping down all kinds of confetti, and they've just been sitting here waiting. And I like the combination of the celebration of the 04 team and the 07 team and the 13 team, so it really speaks to how these guys have entered themselves into the echelon of championship teams here forever, because every championship parade that follows, this 2018 team will be a part of it.
I mean, it's been going on since the turn of the century, for sure, in this city. There we got Eduardo Rodriguez, Eduardo Nunez, Xander Bogaerts. Everybody's talking about Garen Austin. Hello.
What's up, Garen? Nice to see you.
Hello. Blowing kisses. I will say, though, we started things off with Pedro Martinez, and I think that's definitely starting things off on a high note. But this might be the party float. I think I want to be on the Tessie and Wally float. Do you think they'll take a bootleg and David Ortiz on their float?
They put the party people right in the middle. It's good party strategy right there.
That's absolutely true. But this is definitely an upgrade. I haven't been at any of the Red Sox parades in the past. This is my first Red Sox victory parade. But the ticker tape with the, I guess, oxygen tanks that's just projectile all over the streets, all over Boston Common is definitely a nice touch.
I like the fact that all the people who support the players and the staff, they get a chance to enjoy this too. It's not just the people who travel all season coast to coast playing the games and getting the fields ready and bringing the equipment with the team. It's the family who keeps it going throughout the year. They get this moment. They get a chance. We're looking at Dave Meller and his dog Drago, who's in the float, and they do such a fantastic job getting the field ready day in and day out.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Rick Porcello adopted one of Drago's babies.
Yes.
Had one of the puppies, and I believe, don't tell me, Steve Pierce. No?
I don't know if it's Steve Pierce, but I do know.
It's a new member of the Red Sox.
I know that Rick had a chance to bring his dog to Fenway right before the World Series. And the father and son dogs had a chance to reunite.
Oh, so sweet. Do you know what Rick named the dog?
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head.
All right, let's get Rick on the horn.
Call up Rick. Got bad cell service here.
I know. The lines are jammed. We'll have to tweet him. We'll have to run down alongside the duck boat and ask him.
We could probably catch him.
Probably.
I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get in this dress.
There are so many fat heads of JD Martinez. I'm not sure which float JD Martinez is actually on. Oh, there he is, right ahead. I've seen 4 fat heads of JD Martinez, and there is the real in person JD Martinez. We've got the Irish music blazing. I can't talk. Is it bad? I can't hear myself, so I can't talk.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Rafael Devers is there. I see Jared Kravitz from Barstool Sports. That's a guy who's been backing this team forever, so he deserves to be on that float for sure.
Right? I wish they would stop throwing things at the players.
They got to be on guard.
PSA, fans, please stop throwing things at the players.
It's an aggressive fan base here on Tremont Street.
But they're sweet. It's very sweet. It's subdued behind us. I mean, if you look behind us, it is probably 30 people deep into the common, and they are, I don't want to say subdued because that has a negative connotation, but they are there's just vigor for life. They're just excited to be here, excited to support their team, and again, this is normalcy. It's October. It's time for a parade.
Just soaking it all in. You couldn't ask for a better day.
No.
One thing I found a little interesting, I haven't seen a ton of costumes.
Everyone's dressed up as their favorite Red Sox player.
That's true.
That's what you and I went as.
You got a lot of Red Sox. I did make a quick run to the bathroom, and everyone was saying, "Eck." I had to stop and sign a couple autographs and tell people that.
Tom is very famous. I had to take a back seat to this. So I had to put my poppy mustache on.
All you had to do is just put on the hat with the lettuce and the mustache, and we're good to go. Brandon Workman, one of the few who are here in 2013 as well.
Yes.
And yeah, they're getting some beers thrown up. These guys have to stay on guard when they're on these floats.
Right. But very sweet. And all their families are a part of this as well.
Well, we're going to step aside and we will return. Blair Miller is at our next location. So for Casey McDonald, I'm Tom Lydon. Stay with us. Our coverage of the Red Sox parade continues moments from now on Boston 25.
If you're looking at Medicare options, like we were, it's not always clear which plan is the right choice for you.
But the answer is right here. Tufts Health Plan.
Get a Medicare plan that gives you more health care benefits with comprehensive coverage for medical services, hospital stays, vision and hearing.
Even prescriptions, dental, and eyewear.
And you can see the doctors and specialists you already know and trust.
Find a neighbor, find a friend. Go out, grab her by the elbow. Every conversation the next 6 days should start with, have you voted? Or can I give you a ride? Okay, folks, I mean, elections are won by the people that show up. All right? And the truth is, these first midterm elections for the party in the White House are challenging. They are. It's been true for the Republican Party for every first midterm election for 100 years where we've been in the White House. It's true. I mean, the conventional wisdom says it's going to be a tough election for us on November 6th. But I think we all know what President Donald Trump thinks of conventional wisdom. We made history in Ohio in 2016. We're going to make history again in 2018. And we elect Michael Wine, Troy Balderson, Jim Renacci, and the whole Republican team. But you got to vote. Secondly, in all the days that remain, you got to go tell somebody, okay? Go tell somebody about the progress that we've made. I mean, you know, tell them what they're not hearing on most of their major cable television networks on most days. I mean, tell them you ran into Mike the other day in Mansfield at the airport. And so he took like a half hour just to like do the top lines of what we've accomplished as a country in the last couple of years with strong, principled, conservative leadership from the White House to the State House to the
for me. Well, and I know that you're making eye contact with a lot of people on these boats as well. I just said hey to Big Poppy, Raquel from the front office. I just saw Mr. Dombrowski did a great job this year. It's, you know, all these people, all these faces that you see behind the scenes as well as in front of the cameras help make this organization what it is. It starts from the top to the bottom. And I played in different organizations where, you know, and even in the minor league system, you're fighting over a jar of peanut butter for breakfast.
Right.
From top to bottom, this organization takes care of all their players, and it's paying off in dividends.
And now as we look back and right behind us, and I know we're trying to take it in at the same time while we're also talking about what's happening here, but it truly is remarkable to see this. And the fans that have been out here literally all morning long, you know, some of these fans, it runs 30 deep right next to us, and the patience of everyone to be out here truly is remarkable. But what is it like for these players who've been on this parade route today after this wild run of this World Series? What is it like for them?
Well, they're running on pure adrenaline right now. I'll tell you what, it's been a long past few days. There was a long flight on the way over. You could see when they came off the airplane, everybody was a little bit bleary-eyed. But it's a well-deserved couple days off before the parade starts. Right now, they're probably running on adrenaline. It's a good fitting end cap to what a great season that started off in spring training. You knew good things were going to happen then, and it paid off.
This team just truly remarkable. So many people saying this is the greatest Red Sox team of all time. I know that may be a little tough for you, considering you're on the 04 team.
No, you know what? Numbers don't lie. 108 win regular season wins. I mean, it's 119 total. They did an incredible job, and it was a group effort. That's what stuck out to me, is the fact that you've got your guys like Mookie Betts or JD Martinez. These are the guys that you know are going to produce throughout the year. But when the top of the lineup didn't really. Hey, there's TC right there. Hey, there's my Nesson family right there. How are you guys?
They want you out on that duck boat, don't they, right now?
I'm good. I'm good.
They've had quite a...
Jim Ed, how are you? TC right there. There's Remy. Great seeing those guys. I tell you what. Oh, he's making fun of my outfit, I think. What else is new? I tell you what. Those are a bunch of great guys. When I started in Essen last year, they've been nothing but gracious. I've been learning a ton from those guys, and good for them getting on a boat there. But what I was saying is, you know what? From top to bottom, it doesn't have to be the first guys in the order that are getting it done. The 8, 9-hole guys picked up the slack when the JDs and the Mookies maybe were scuffing a little bit during the year.
Yeah, we see JBJ going by us, Brock Holt, Jessica Pedroia, Andrew Benintendi, and it truly is remarkable. And I can't imagine what it's like for them, you know, this ride back, getting back to Boston, where they can finally celebrate here at home. And you were telling me a story while we were waiting this out earlier about when you were on the other side of this, and you would see, you know, we all know what the 2004 win means for this city, but
it really struck you real at this moment.
Yes, I was 24 at the time.
Yeah.
I came from another organization prior, and I really had no idea what the parade was going to be like. And then I was on the boats, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." And then all of a sudden, I look down, and there's people holding pictures of family members that were no longer with us, tears streaming down some of their faces, and it was a quiet moment, as quiet as it could inside my own head, because I'm just reflecting on how special it was for them to basically put up with 86 years of no Red Sox wins, and it was and it was just a very special moment. And this is just as special for these fans and these players. This is the time when the Red Sox and the fans can interact. They can show appreciation to each other, because throughout the year it can be difficult sometimes when they have a task at hand. It can be hard to kind of interact with fans, but right now they're getting a ton of it.
And there is so much appreciation, as you're talking about, the word you used, here for this team and here for this city. One thing I noticed out in the crowd, and you probably noticed the same thing, and I know Lily was talking about this a little earlier in our coverage, is the flags from Puerto Rico and the nod to Alex Cora and just what he has meant to this city, this team, but so many other parts of our country.
I mean, you really can't speak to the impact he's had on this organization and what he did from day one, and what he's doing for Puerto Rico. What little he can do, really. I mean, they put up with so much down there as far as the weather, and they're still rebuilding, and that's one thing that he made sure that was in his contract. Basically, he wants the Red Sox involved in rebuilding and doing whatever they can to kind of help bring supplies to the people down there that are in need.
Some Red Sox officials had told me when we first started this playoff run that they wouldn't be surprised should we get lucky enough to make it this far, that World Series trophy may go back down to Puerto Rico for
I can
a visit.
absolutely see that happen. There's a caravan or a parade, whatever you want to call it, after the World Series. They take it up to Maine, they take it to Vermont, New Hampshire, all the New England states, and I think that for Alex would be a very special moment to bring it down, and for the Puerto Rican people as well, because there's a ton of big baseball fans down in the Latin American countries. There's a winter ball program there in the Dominican and Venezuela, so I think it would be special for them as well.
I'm curious what this is like for you on the other side of this, to experience this. I came in as you know, on a train this morning, and it was jam-packed with people getting here. And you come here and you see all the fans waiting, as they have for hours and hours and hours to be here, just to catch a glimpse of what's passing by us right now. But what is it like for you on this side of things to see it almost from a fan's perspective, in a sense?
Well, I tell you what, I'm an adopted son of New England now. I'm from Florida originally. I always enjoyed my time in Boston, and I'm living in Rhode Island at the moment. So I drove up. I probably got here around 7:30 this morning, and I walked up. There wasn't very many people around, but I had a chance to talk to a young gentleman, Jonathan, and his older sister Shannon, and they were showing their appreciation to the Red Sox and how fun it was to watch this season. And little Jonathan, I let him hold my ring. And this is back before he was born that I actually ended up getting this ring. And it was, it's ingrained in families up in New England. It's passed down. It's almost in the genes that you are going to be a Red Sox fan. And it's passed down by watching the games with your mom, with your dad, with grandma, grandpa. And then, that's one of the reasons why the people that I saw in 2004 were holding up pictures of family members that were no longer with us, because it was so special. Hundreds and hundreds of games were probably watched at Fenway or on TV.
And right now, as David Price goes by, and we were talking about this a little earlier, he's quite excited, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He should be excited.
Fired up right there. There's Carlos Fabulous right there. He was a teammate of mine for a little bit. Now he's coaching, showing my age a little bit right there. How are you guys? Good to see you. There was a trainer, John Jokum, right there. He was there when I was with the Red Sox. Tell you what, it's a classy organization. Like I said before, from the top to the bottom, you can see it from the parking lot attendees to the clubhouse guys to the security, the ushers, people in marketing, people in fan relations. Everybody loves going to work. It's at Fenway Park, and it's very special to go there.
It says a lot about the organization, like you're talking about, as you make the connection with many people from the riser where we are to the duck boats about 15 yards away from where we are. For you to make the connection like it, I can see it, how exciting a moment this is for so many people who are in that organization, as it should be.
Absolutely. We just saw Jason Varitek right there. It's good to have him around. You see Varitek, you see David Lowe, Derek Lowe. You see guys that used to play for the Red Sox coming back and mentoring guys that are playing for the Red Sox now. And it's an organization you want to be a part of. They do it right, and everything that they touch seems to turn to gold, really.
Well, interesting timing, considering that the World Series trophy is passing by us right now. I'm curious, how does that work in a parade like this? How this how this gets transferred from person to person, boat to boat, while we have a rolling rally like this going on?
That's very carefully, very carefully. I know for a fact that they have people in charge of the trophy and the past trophies as well that wear basically gloves. And they're very careful. They do a great job of kind of taking care of the trophy. I was at the Hot Stove Cool Music concert last year, and Theo brought the Cubs trophy along with the Red Sox trophy, one of the trophies, and the Cubs trophy ended up getting passed through the crowd surfed. And I think it lost a couple flags possibly, but you got to be careful with that thing. It's pretty fragile.
Is there a moment on this parade route? Yeah, I know we're right here in front of City Hall, but is there a moment on this parade route that stood out to you as far as the locations? Is there one that's a little more rowdy than the next?
You know what?
And we are blessed to be able to say that.
Absolutely, absolutely. What I remember from the 2004 rolling rally was I remember all these lampposts had people hanging off of them, right? They were climbing up the lampposts. They were hanging off. And, I remember Pedro getting hit with a baseball on the side of the head. Someone wanted an autograph, a little too eager, and it ended up hitting him. But you know what? He shook it off because it's all good times right now. Everybody's happy. There's a big Mookie Betts head right there. Who's an incredible part of this season.
And Mookie Betts passing here right now. It is quite impressive to see, no matter how many of these you have seen in this city. And the last parade we had was for the Patriots. It was cold, snowing, and today, you could almost say it's warm.
This is compared to that. You could not ask for better weather.
More of the front office passing by, the tail end of this parade passing by. This is as the parade comes to an end here. It is truly impressive to see this. The city's so excited. The people just can't get over how many people are lined up to see this. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of our live coverage covering the Victory Parade. We'll be right back.
As your home becomes more connected, you need Fios to keep up. Because fiber optics move crazy amounts of data at even crazier speeds, and Fios is the 100% fiber optic network, so you can get phenomenal capacity for your tech. And now is a great time to switch, because it's your last chance to get $200 toward a range.
I'm here with Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo, this is your first parade. Is this what you had expected?
No, I don't expect that big like right now. This is really good. I like it. A lot of people on the street. You say hi to us and everything with us. We win the World Series, so it's pretty good. It's really good.
These fans are ecstatic. How much fun is it to see the support and all that they've been behind you throughout the season?
I mean, I love Boston, I love this city. I love the people over here. I haven't seen like more than 10,000 people already, and I think we're halfway through, so this is really good.
Well, you guys had the World Series trophy on this duck boat for a little while. What did it mean to you guys to hold that today?
I mean, since I was a little kid, I was waiting for that opportunity to play in the World Series. We win it. This means a lot to me. I know to everybody here on all this right now. I mean, to my family, to my city in Venezuela, this means a lot. This is something special, like something like maybe not doesn't happen before, not doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? So I gotta enjoy it right now.
Well, your wife and your kids are on the boat with us. What does it mean to be celebrating this with them as well?
I mean, it means a lot. A lot. My wife here, my two kids. I know my little kid is 1.5, but when he gets to 10, I can explain it to him what happened. I can show the pictures and everything, the video, and I'm gonna tell him we win the World Series that year.
Well, Well, the fans have been incredible today. They've made some great signs. They've been throwing a lot of stuff onto the duck boat. A lot of beer. You've made some pretty impressive catches. Did you get some advice from maybe Christian or Sandy?
I mean, I try to make the best. I try to make the best catch I can do, so that's pretty good. They've been throwing beers and a lot of different teams over here, so that's good.
Now, how about this parade? Is this something that you'll always remember?
I always going to remember this, always, all my life. And I want it to happen again, to do it one more time.
Well, anything you'd like to say to the fans who are maybe watching at home?
Come outside, come to see us, and enjoy this with us.
All right, congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the day. Blair and Lenny, we'll go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
So much. Joined by Lenny DiNardo right now. He was on the 04 team, now works with our partners at Nesson, and this has been quite a celebration as we've watched the parade go by us, and now it's making its way toward the end of City Hall. That's where we were stationed, and it really has been quite impressive to see this, hasn't it?
It really has. This is an opportunity for the players, the fans to interact, to show appreciation for one another. You know, I've been in organizations where I would throw 9 innings, shutout ball, and the next day no one would have any idea who I was, and you have to accept that this city lives and breathes sports, lives and breathes Red Sox. So this is a chance for everybody to kind of interact and to show appreciation to one another.
And they've been doing it big time. I know
Absolutely.
One of your colleagues, Tom Karen, has been riding along. We saw him go right past us. He called you out a little bit while we were passing us, but he joins us now. He's been riding on one of those duck boats, Tom.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Went by you a little while ago. We've stopped here as we're regrouping. Crowd's been going wild all day, Pat. If you can get a shot of this crowd over here. Now, this is really thin because we've stopped here. You can see it gets a little thicker down below. We just went through a massive crunch of people, one of the biggest crowds I've seen. I've been on 2 of these duck boat parades and covered 2 others back in the studio like you guys are. But you can hear, this has been the chant of the day, if you can hear it. That's the Jerry chant that's been going on for this man, Jerry Remy. Jerry, how special has this been?
This has been great, you know, like all of them, but this has been pretty special. You know, these guys deserve it. They really do. And the fun part about this is going down the streets and seeing everybody smiling. Everybody loves the winner, you know, and everybody loves Boston sports. And, you know, here we are and celebrating another one. I think it's just fantastic.
It really does bring people together. You know, it's silly. We're all from the same region. Why don't we just come out here every day and celebrate? But it takes something like this and you realize that you've been cheering for the same team with everybody else. Kind of brings everybody together.
You're exactly right, you know, and, you know, the one thing that does bond a community is sports. There's no question about that, and especially winning sports. And we've had our share of that here in Boston. There's no question about that. And, you know, it's like the World Series is over. I couldn't wait to watch the Patriots on Sunday night. It was amazing, you know. So, I mean, we just keep going and going and going, and it's so much fun. It's really, you know, to be out here and see these people so happy, it's remarkable.
What you've been through this year, another battle with cancer, to be out here on a sunny day, to hear millions of people literally chanting your name, what's it mean to you?
It makes me feel good. I mean, you know, I think it makes me think back when I was a kid growing up a Red Sox fan. I mean, could I ever imagine a day where you'd be on a duck boat riding through Boston with a World Championship ball club and people chanting your name? I mean, it's hard to suck in. It really is, you know, and I'm loving every second of it. I would like to do this every year.
So you'll be back next year. Let's get to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back this year. The boss is on board. We'll see how you have but yeah, I'm coming back next year. Yeah, God willing.
That might be why we stopped. We're gonna get this done. Jerry, enjoy this, buddy. It's been amazing.
Great job, TC. Great job all year.
Thank you. Jim Rice is here, Hall of Famer Jim Rice. Gonna bring Jim Rice in here. Jim, you played here. You know what these fans are like, and we've seen 4 of these parades now. It's amazing to think about 4 in the last 15 years, isn't it?
No doubt, but when you talk about the Red Sox organization, the way they prepared themselves as far as getting guys to come here and play in this city, and you see what happened when they got JD.
When you look up at these fans, you see the pure joy in their face. How does that feel?
I do, but the only thing that I like and dislike about it, the kids are so young, they don't know anything about me. So they're more interested in the young kids right now.
That's why we introduce you as Hall of Famer Jim Rice. Then they can go look it up.
That's making me feel older.
You know, these young kids only know winning. You know, these young kids, if you're under the age of 30, all you know is championships.
You got that right, and I love it, every bit of it. You know, I had an opportunity to play here, and I'm still here, and to see these young guys that they have right now, looking forward to the future. They won one. Just continue doing the same thing you did last year, or this year.
I like what one guy said. I talked to a guy in his 60s, and he said, you know, you average it out, they win every 15 years or so. It's not bad.
I don't want to do that. I don't know how many more years I have left, but I don't.
Like 4 and 15. Let's make it 5 and 16.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, partner.
Thank you.
All right, that's Hall of Famer Jim Rice. You see the music is blasting here as the great DJ and his staff from Fenway Park likes baseball. It's a hard day not to like baseball when you look at everybody here. We're kind of nearing the end of this thing, I think. But then every time we think that, we turn around and there's a few more thousand people waiting on the next go. There's the Dropkick Murphys, ladies and gentlemen. The great Ken Casey and the entire band. They're nighttime guys. They're not used to getting up in the morning for this stuff. So thank you, Dropkick Murphys, for getting up in the morning and belting out the tunes. It has been amazing here as we roll on. And we're not done yet, but we're sucking up the enjoyment of every second of this parade. I'm not sure where we're sending it back to, but let's send it back. We'll go back to Blair Lenny, right where we took it from. Guys, take it away.
All right. The spot where we are right here in City Hall, thousands of people have been lined every stretch of this parade route. Many of them starting to scatter. On the other side of the camera, we can't really move it around, but the celebration is, people are still celebrating. And I was going to ask from a player's standpoint, how long does this feeling last?
Tell you what, I've got my ring on right now from 2004. It's still lasting for me from 2004. I feel just really blessed to be able to be a part of that team. And I know these gentlemen, these guys on this 2018 Red Sox team feel the same way, and they will for a long, long time, trust me.
Well, you know the fans are going to be enjoying this one for a very long time, as the city should.
Absolutely. You know, when I first came back to Boston after I retired, I'll remember it like it was yesterday. I pulled up to the hotel, I got out, and the concierge said, "Mr. DiNardo, welcome back." That does not happen anywhere else in any other city in a baseball town. It just doesn't happen, but it's typical for a Boston Red Sox fan to remember the former players. This is how they roll.
And it's been fun to watch here, too. I know from your perspective as well. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but our coverage of the Boston Red Sox Victory Parade continues after this.
The 2018 Boston Red Sox have the most wins in franchise history and are now World Series champions. BigTimeBats.com is offering this officially licensed Boston Red Sox Louisville Slugger laser engraved World Series champions team signature bat. The 35-inch full-size bat has the facsimile signatures of this historic Red Sox roster with the 2018 World Series logo and the words World Series champions. The bat is limited to 2018 bats and sells for $149.95. Go to BigTimeBats.com to order now.
Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's really best for you?
Oh, yeah.
For years, I've been using...
To the border they go. New video released by the Department of Defense showing more than 5,000 active duty troops deployed to the Mexico border. It's part of President Trump's response to Central Americans heading for the U.S., hoping to seek asylum and refuge.
I think the president has made it clear that border security is national security. That is direction we've given. That's the direction we're marching to. Our orders are very clear. We are engaged. We're here to support CBP, and we're going to secure the border.
The troops will be limited in what they can actually do. Federal law blocks the military from exercising any kind of law enforcement on American soil. They cannot detain any of the migrants, and they're not able to try and prevent anybody from entering the U.S. Instead, the troops will mostly have a supporting role. National Guard personnel already in the region, and the new troops are expected to assist in various border missions. Tasks like providing helicopter support, installing barriers, maintaining vehicles, and crowd control. One woman heading north from Honduras says she will not be deterred.
It's been on the news that they have the military there at the U.S. border and everything, and that they're going to send more and more, but our path is there.
Many of the migrants have reportedly abandoned their North American trek, some deciding to seek refugee status in Mexico, others accepting the Mexican government's offer to help them get back to their native countries. Ken Duffy, Fox News.
Excited over this particular season, but you and I were talking about a little while ago.
we're kind of getting spoiled now. Right?
Absolutely. That's 4 now in the last 15 years. As far as the Red Sox are concerned, you factor in the Patriots, what they've done since 2002, 5 championships for them, and then the Celtics in 2008, and then the Bruins in 2013. So this is the epicenter of sports and championship sports teams across the board, no matter what you're talking about here. So,
one of the other things that we were talking about, with baseball being such a long season, you were traveling with the team for many of those games and just saying how really exhausting it is on the body, going city to city, losing track of what day it is.
That's right.
There's stuff going on at home, and that's actually true of the players as well. They've got families back at home. They've been kind of out of the mix for a lot of their personal life for the year. Where do they go now? What do they do now?
I think now it's all about rest. Yeah. That is for sure, because baseball's winter stove will be heating up here in December. We'll be talking about free agents, talking about what's going to be the move next, different pieces to add, and then before you know it, we'll have winter weekend in January, and then spring training. Obviously, the season started earlier this year, March 29th for the first time in quite a while, so that's going to be here before you know it. So I think a lot of these guys will just be taking part in just some rest and relaxation, because you think about their season was extended 1 month past when everybody else, so they're a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to that.
What's the one thing that you'll take away from this season as opposed to other seasons in the past?
I think this season, just the relentlessness of the lineup. I mean, these guys top to bottom, and I'll be the first to admit it, I wasn't exactly sure that they'd be to this point, maybe back in July, but it was one series against Toronto, and I remember a specific at-bat that Mookie had against Jay Happ, and he hit a home run, a grand slam, and I was like, all right, I'm a believer now. This team is really the best, because you get to a point, you're like, all right, they went 17-2 to start the regular season. They're on pace to win 100-plus games. How good are they?
Well, I have to tell you, this is a day where we were all believers. What a great day for a parade. What a great day for the city of Boston. People are kind of draining away from Boston Common, but they all have smiles on their faces, and so do we. We'll be back in just a moment.
So who thinks their Medicare supplement plan isn't doing enough? Who's new to Medicare and wants to get it right? It's time to switch for good. To Anthem. Switch for complete coverage. With no doctor network, no referrals needed. With coverage that's guaranteed for life. Switch to a plan that pays for things that original Medicare won't. And helps keep you healthy. And switch because you can be confident that Anthem understands you and the road you've traveled and what it takes to move forward. Join the thousands who choose Anthem every year for low or no out-of-pocket costs and peace of mind when you travel. Switch your Medicare supplement plan for good to Anthem. And protect yourself from high medical costs. Enroll now. Call 888-264-1968 today.
I'm Jeff Deal, the guy who stopped automatic gas tax hikes. And now, I'm out to stop partisan gridlock in Washington. That's why I'm running for Senate against Elizabeth Warren. The same Elizabeth Warren that called police officers racist from front to back. Me, I call them heroes. The men and women who put their lives on the line every day. My campaign isn't about party politics. It's about getting the job done for Massachusetts. I'm Jeff Deal, and I approve this message.
Mark Ockerblum and Vanessa Welch on Boston 25 News, weeknights at 10 and 11.
And welcome back to Boston 25's coverage of the Rolling Rally for your 2018 World Series champion Red Sox, as they have gone past Copley Place here about, I'd say, the plaza about 15, 20 minutes ago.
I'm so sad it's over. I mean, I feel like it went so quickly, right? Oh, it was just so much fun, and just the energy and the excitement and all the joy that we felt. You wish you just could make that last forever.
I know, it's amazing to think that just a few moments ago, really, several minutes ago, we had this place jam-packed. And now it's starting to clear out. But, this is just something that Boston fans have become accustomed to. And if, you're a kid who grew up in this town, depending on your age, if you grew up in the last 10 years, say you're 10 years old or 11 years old, this has been fantastic, right? But, for me, growing up here, and I never got this chance. And it was always kind of a thing that you hope for someday. To think that there have been 4 or 15 years is just amazing.
You were a little nervous in the postseason because of your history with this team, right?
I was nervous even in the last game. I said to Butch Stearns, I turned to him, I said, but in a good way, I said, do you remember, we're up 4-1 at that point, and I just said to him, do you remember when this is the time, as Red Sox fans, something bad was coming? Something, Halloween was coming early. Well, that's the change. And the other night, I didn't feel that way at all. I just looked at the board and said, we're going to win this game.
I'm curious,
mentality.
I'm curious, Doc, you were out there in L.A. when they won the World Series. What was that like for you, not only as a former sports anchor and an anchor, but as a lifelong Red Sox fan?
To be out there on the West Coast and say, this is our team, and be so proud of it because of the success that they were having, and to say how powerful they were. And I always say this about the Dodger fans. It's a nice night out. They have a lot of fun. They embrace their team. They're 53,000 strong. But, it was great to be there with a Red Sox squad that you knew had it all over the Dodgers in a way. So that was just comforting to know. So you could really sit back, watch and enjoy the ball game. Even the 8th-inning loss. I mean, that was just an historic event, and it was great baseball.
It was so much fun to watch. And it's been just so incredible this entire season to see how close this team is. We've been able to feel that closeness, that they really are a family. And they've told us time and time again how they hang out when they're not playing baseball. They go to dinner together. And when they're on the road, they're playing games together. They're playing golf together when they have the chance. And I think we all felt that closeness, and it bonded us all together with this team.
Well, when I look at these teams, I look at 04, and that was the first team, of course, to win and reverse the curse. I looked at 07, it was a team expected to do well, they did. I look at 13, it was after the bombings at United City, and I look at this team, and it's much like their manager, humble.
Right.
Alex Cora is a humble guy. His players are humble. I don't think anybody thinks one's better than the other or achieved a higher level of success than the other. They achieved all of that success together.
And the players talked about that, how they encouraged each other and they supported each other. When one got a home run, they were just as excited as if it was their own home run. No egos on this team, very humble. And again, I think that had to do with their success. That played into how well they played.
As former Mayor Menino, the late great Tom Menino might say, they did it through teamwork.
That's right, they sure did. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more of our coverage. Stay here with us.
President Trump is looking to end birthright citizenship for some babies born in the United States. Speaking with Axios on HBO, the president says he wants to get rid of the constitutional right of becoming an American citizen for children of non-citizens born on U.S. soil. Such a move would surely cause a major legal battle and stir up controversy in Washington.
We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
Immigration remains at the forefront as President Trump campaigns ahead of the midterm elections. The Pentagon sending 5,200 troops to the southern border as this massive caravan of Central American migrants travels through Mexico, hoping to reach the U.S. They will be armed and perform what are being called mission-enhancing capabilities.
Orders are very clear. We are engaged. We're here to support CBP, and we're going to secure the border.
Any threat posed by those troops and the possibility of an end to birthright citizenship not doing much to stop this caravan. Thousands are still trying to make it to the U.S. You can see many of them waiting on a bridge, hoping to hitch a ride. And at least 2 more caravans have been inspired by this caravan, one along the Guatemala-Mexico border and another originating in El Salvador. In Oaxaca, Mexico, I'm Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
We're just volunteers talking about the health care vote coming up.
Repealing Obamacare has been President Trump's top priority since taking office, but now red state voters may be poised to strengthen it. Volunteers are going door to door in states that opted not to expand Medicaid under Obamacare, building support for ballot initiatives that would offer affordable health care coverage for low-income residents. At least 4 western states, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, and Utah, are voting on the measures this year, allowing them to tap millions of dollars in federal funding for health care.
We thought Medicaid expansion was something that was big and monumental and that would improve people's lives on a grand scale.
The initiatives are backed by medical and business groups, but opposed by many conservatives who say folks could end up paying more than they expect.
We believe it discourages work. It's going to take money from other priorities like schools and roads.
But there seems to be plenty of popular support for the expansion, with most early voters indicating they're behind it. And if the measures are approved in these western states, it could raise some serious questions about whether President Trump will ever be able to completely eliminate Obamacare.
I have friends and family and acquaintances that have really tragic things they're trying to deal with.
They got jobs, they got families they take care of. Just with the rest of their bills, they just can't afford the rates that they are charging.
If voters in all 4 states approve the ballot measure, some 400,000 residents could get access to health insurance. In Washington, Doug McElwain, Fox News.
President Trump and the First Lady visited Pittsburgh Tuesday to show support for the grieving community, 3 days after a gunman stormed the Tree of Life synagogue. The first couple met with local leaders at the temple and honored Jewish tradition by placing small stones on markers bearing the names of the 11 killed. But just a few blocks away, massive protests in the streets. Demonstrators said the president bears some of the blame for the shooting. They believe his fiery rhetoric and attacks on minorities helped motivate the accused gunman, who harbored a deep hatred of Jews. Some community members also felt it was inappropriate for him to visit on the same day they started holding funerals.
All of a sudden, because the president wants to come, you have to close the streets and nobody else can come. We had funerals today and we would like to go back to mourning.
There were some others who were glad to see the nation's leader.
I wouldn't even walk into that because of the bloodshed that was in there. But he's a very brave man. So it's good. I guess that's what he decided.
Ursula Wayne believes critics would have been just as outraged if the president had stayed away.
If he didn't come, they would also have something to say. He didn't have the decency to come.
Mr. Trump also stopped by a hospital where some of the injured are recovering, including first responders.
They seemed very grateful for his interest and his visit.
The president's trip lasted just a few hours. 7 more funerals are scheduled through Friday. It's what's been described as a week of mourning in Pittsburgh. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
I was a renter for 23 years, and I know that feeling.
Mickey Bambrick and her husband Corey Slowtalk have been the sole owners of the Lunda apartment since 1992. With Seattle rents continuing to rise, Bambrick says apartment living can sometimes feel unstable, so their Christian beliefs led them to offer their 11 tenants free rent in November.
We talked about it for a while and decided that giving the tenants a month free from rent would be in line with the Jewish tradition. I mean, we don't practice that stuff, it's all Old Testament laws, but it's just something fun to honor our faith.
The couple started saving extra money last year. They say they're not trying to convert people to Christianity, but they are proud of their faith. Slowtalk has a 4-foot Bible replica on the top of his truck.
And life is just great. Hallelujah.
The couple says they got the idea to relieve the debts of others from a passage in the Bible. The passage says debts are to be forgiven every 50 years, and Slowtalk's father built the property 50 years ago. He says he jumped at the chance to honor his father and his tenants.
I didn't let them know until October 1st when they would have to start planning for November's rent. And so building up to that, it was quite exciting for me. And I guess that's where the Bible comes in. It's more blessed to give than to receive.
They wrote a letter to their tenants offering a rent-free month, and one tenant posted it on Reddit, causing thousands of people to share the story. And although they'll forfeit $15,000 next month, they say this is just another way they honor God and give back. In Seattle, LaMonica Peters, Q13 News.
Why do you love lollipops?
Because they're so yummy.
Yeah, and they're safe.
Dressing up for Halloween is a long-time tradition, as is going door to door asking neighbors for candy. But trick-or-treating may not be as fun for kids with food allergies. That's where the Teal Pumpkin Project comes in.
A lot of times they just can't participate, and so this is a great way to make sure that they feel included.
Placing a teal pumpkin outside your door on Halloween means you will provide non-food treats for trick-or-treaters. Run by the Food Allergy Research and Education Organization, the project suggests giving away items like small toys, stickers, or glow sticks. But why teal? Well, it's the nationally recognized color for food allergy awareness. Taking part in the Teal Pumpkin Project doesn't mean you have to stop passing out candy. The group recommends putting food and non-food treats in separate bowls and giving trick-or-treaters a choice of which one they'd like to take.
Since our kids are pretty young, they're still prone to touching something and then maybe touching their mouth. And so, it's possible that they could have a reaction that way.
There are other ways to let families know you're providing allergy-friendly goodies on Halloween as well. You can print out signs at foodallergy.org, where you can also add your home to an interactive map showing where non-food treats can be found.
Children that have food allergies are left out of a lot of activities that involve food. And so this is really a small way that you can make a big difference. And, and they can have a more enjoyable Halloween.
Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
We're so close to them. I mean, they had a perfect shot right here.
And as the blue lights came down Boylston, you could see they're all jockeying for position too. But everybody was well behaved, very respectful of one another. They just wanted to be a part of one of the great events in Boston history, and that is a duck boat parade to celebrate your champions. And we've been so accustomed to this. We're so spoiled. I mean, I have friends in other parts of the country who call and say, all right, so how many you got now? And I said 11. It's very easy. Count with me at home. Five for the Patriots, four for the Red Sox, and 1 each for the Celtics and Bruins. And who knows, we may be out here again.
We are spoiled indeed. It's a good time to be a Boston sports fan. Let's check in with our sports director, Tom Lydon. Tom?
All right, this was an incredibly special day that really caps off an incredibly special year. We really need to soak it all in and appreciate just how good this team was, all of the amazing memories that they gave to us throughout the year. So many moments that will forever be etched in our memories. Grand slams, come from behind victories, absolutely stunning pitching performances. Casey, come on up. You finally got there. Congratulations. And I really appreciated the great work that our friends at Nesson did throughout the year, obviously bringing all of those stories back to us. But I was telling our viewers just how special the year was and how we really need to soak in these moments and appreciate what we experienced.
I think it's going to take some time for this to sink in. I mean, I'm out of breath. I just ran across the park. Okay, give me a second. It's going to take some time for this to sink in, to realize just what the Red Sox did this year. I mean, you heard, I believe it was Sam Kennedy say, this is the best Red Sox team ever.
And I was speaking with Craig Kimbrell after Sunday's win, and I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that I just can't believe how good this team is. And I said to Craig, I'm like, Craig, I look around this room at all you guys who you kind of know personally, not as friends, but at least as professional colleagues, and you're the second best baseball team in history. And I loved his reaction. He looked at me, he goes, second?
He goes, who?
Right? Who else? Officially, it's the 1998 Yankees, but
and this core is still together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
And we got the good news today that David Price is going to opt in. Obviously, they picked up Chris Sale's option yesterday, so a lot of good news that was capped off by a great day today.
Good times.
Good times.
Hey, let's do it again. Let's do this again next year.
That'd be great.
Mark it on your calendar.
You bring the props. All right, for
I can
Casey,
bring the props.
I'm Tom Lydon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll put a bow on our coverage. The Boston Red Sox, 2018 World Series champions, and they celebrated it in style today.
The 2018.
Ripley is now taking steps forward with this new prosthetic leg.
I feel good. I mean, can't run yet, but getting there.
We've been following the 13-year-old's story for a while now.
I think it's amazing. When I first found out of it, I was like, no way, like, sign me up.
It's a battle for her that started with cancer, osteosarcoma, attacking bone in her leg, and later coming back in her lungs.
You just can't let anything get to you.
She says she's cancer-free today, but prosthetics she got after having to have part of her leg amputated just didn't work.
Couldn't really do that much with it. It was heavy.
Enter Aaron Westbrook.
I always say from first and one-hand experience, I kind of know what people would need if they're missing a hand or an arm.
We told you about him when he was in high school. This video is from 2015. He was born with only one hand and has been on a mission to make prosthetics better.
I started researching prosthetics when I was 15.
So his nonprofit, Form 5, with help from Owens Corning, made Jillian this, giving her more mobility.
Pretty much the socket and the ankle and everything else was 3D printed.
And listen to this when I asked Jillian, what's next?
Sports. I've been bowling since I was 4, I'd say. It's always been my favorite sport. So trying to get back into that.
Aaron has plans too.
Days like today, like final presentation days, and seeing our recipients put on a device, those are the days that I live for. The hard work and everything to see that pay off.
The multi-billion-dollar holiday of Halloween is filled with millions of fans looking for a good scare or buying elaborate costumes. Some of the celebs we caught up with at Universal Horror Nights surprised us with how scared they get during the holiday.
I really like being scared, so I'm a big fan of horror games and horror movies.
I do not like to be scared on any level.
I like to try and get scared. I don't scare easy, but I like to try as much as I can. I'm always in that mindset that it's not real.
The jump scares where somebody you're looking this way and someone comes out from behind you.
I don't like Aladdin. Jafar scares me.
Jamie Lee Curtis's sequel to her 1978 classic slasher film, Halloween, has already made more than $172 million in only 10 days of release. Jamie says 40 years ago, no one knew the franchise would be this successful.
Nobody ever thought it was going to be huge. No one. Not one person. Even Mustafa Akkad, God rest his soul, who originated the idea by going to John Carpenter and saying, make me a babysitter slasher movie for $300,000. He didn't know it was going to go off and he was going to make sequel after sequel.
You don't believe in the boogeyman? In Hollywood, Michelle Polino, Fox News.
You do, they're going to make that comeback, and prove you wrong.
Relentless was the word that was used over and over. They never give up. They were relentless all season long. And we just want to say thank you to our Boston Red Sox for an incredible season, for all the fun and all the magic. We just had an incredible time. And I think that this is a year that none of us will forget.
Well, they said they wanted to do damage, and then they were able to flip it and say damage done.
Damage done.
And, you can go through that whole lineup and see a player at everywhere along the way. You could see a player had this breakout game, this incredible performance, and you had it from top to bottom. And that's what it takes to be a champion. And from several players, they had career years. You see all these Gold Glove, potential winners down the road. You see a guy who's going to be the AL MVP. You see a Hank Aaron Award winner, J.D. Martinez. So, they have an incredible staff of pitchers, the bullpen. Everybody came to show when it came to be, the postseason and really drill down and get the wins. They were able to do it.
The outfield was incredible. The offense was incredible. And the players will tell you over and over again, it's not about one person. This is a team of 25, and it took 25 of them to win the World Series. 25 of them working together as a family, as people who you could tell really loved one another on and off the field, and that was the secret sauce.
Well, the secret sauce, too, was Alex
Cora, absolutely.
AC, and the fact that he was able to make so many decisions that, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if you should have made that. Turned out okay.
He was always right.
Turned out okay. Got to the point where people said, I'm not second-guessing anymore. The guy has the Midas touch. The guy should go play the lottery. A lot of jokes are made about that. He can't do anything wrong. Maybe a few missteps along the way here and there, but you know what? In the end, he had probably, if you had maybe 5% of those, 95% of them were right.
We heard over and over he kept pushing all the right buttons. Every move every move that he made worked. And, for a rookie manager to have this kind of success, just phenomenal. And, we started hearing the guys that call him AC, and you could tell that they had a close relationship, but they also said that they respected him. They said he texts us and we feel very close to him, but we also respect what he says. And he told them, spring training, this is a special team. You guys can get to the World Series. You can win the World Series, and they believed it, and they made it happen.
Yeah, it really does take a lot, though, to buy in. And, I think back in this season, And, you know, they've got such long stretches where you could lose a team. And that, to me, in baseball, it's one of the hardest sports because, you know, they start spring training in February. I mean, think about that. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, on the cusp of November now, right? All that time together can build bonds, but all that time, as you know, you spend enough time with people or too much time with some people, and things can start to, you know, become divisive. It never happened with this team. He was able to make sure everybody was content over a 9-month stretch, and that's remarkable.
It really is incredible. And, you know, one of the players had said that when we hit a home run, the team is just as excited, every individual player is just as excited for that home run as they would be if they themselves hit the homer. And you don't always see that, you know, in teams. And so just awesome to see how close this team is, how they support each other, how they cheer each other on all season long. And you see them getting off the duck boats now, and fans are still lingering around. They don't want to leave either.
Well, these guys are going back into Fenway Park, and as Butch Stern said earlier with our coverage, he had said that the players will be getting off and they'll have a chance to actually ask them what they thought of the ride.
Right.
You know, they had talked about this from the moment they were able to hoist that trophy in Los Angeles. When you talk to the players after the game, they're all saying the same thing. Get the duck boats ready. They were so excited to go out and do this. You know, with the exception of a few players, this is something that was very new to them. And, you know, we saw the discussion beforehand. Now we want to hear what their thoughts were. You know, was Mookie wearing a GoPro on top of his hat there? Was that how he was able to take in those great views that we saw? But, you know, what they saw when they looked into that fan base that was so rabid and was following them all year and cheering them on, and then to see them up close from a duck boat hailing them as champions, had to be a remarkable experience.
Let's check in with Butch Stearns, who is inside Fenway Park. Hey there, Butch.
Hey guys, how are you? Let me set the scene for you in here as we're waiting for them to come off in center field. You can see people arriving now off the duck boats. A lot of the executives, front office people. Some of the players will be coming over here. Our videographer, Adam Liberatore, right behind that camera, is going to take it off the sticks, the tripod, and we're going to go handheld in a second. There you go. All right, Adam, nice job. In motion, and we're not going to run out to center field to get them, but as the players come into the park here, we'll get a chance to interview them. Is that Blake Swihart? He looks a little legless there. You see him in the middle being held up. We'll see if we can grab Blake. There's Jim Rice, Hall of Famer. Never got to ride in a duck boat as a player with the Red Sox, but has ridden on many of these as a coach. I'm sure he's going to go over to Nesson. Big Jim, how's the duck boat ride? Cold. Cold, says Mr. Rice. Blake, are you standing? There's a lot of teams come here. Blake is just barely standing, so I'm sure he enjoyed himself. Let's see who else we can get coming over here. Don't see any other players yet. I see some front office people. You know, I heard you guys talking about baseball before, and it is such a unique sport compared to the others because of the amount of games, the time they spend with each other. If you win a championship like this, think about this. You're together for 10 months, basically 10 months. You're together more than you are with your families. And, you know, I see familiar faces coming in here. My buddy Stevie Conley right there. Get him on camera. The IT director. What's the password? What's the password here at Fenway, Stevie boy? Thank you. A lot of people win when the Red Sox win. The front office people. There's Steve Pierce. Steve, can we grab you real quick? You got to go to the bathroom. How was it on the duck boat?
It was awesome. Awesome. Dream come true, man. That was awesome. Partying with the fans. Great.
There you go. All right, Adam, come on over here. He's got to go to the bathroom. You're getting this live now, live and raw from them coming off the duck boats. Let's see who else we got here. You got people going out. Well, there's Jack McCormick. Let me show you Jack right there. Jack in the red sweatshirt with his family. Jack is the longtime traveling secretary with the Red Sox. You may remember Jack. He was most famous for being pushed down by Manny Ramirez, which was an embarrassing moment for Manny Ramirez, I think. Drew Pomerantz is here. Let's see who else. Here comes Craig Kimbrell with his daughter. We got them coming off of the field, and we'll get Craig and his wife right now to cap off what's been an unbelievable year. Hi, guys. Hey, can I grab you real quick?
Sure.
What a year, Craig, and we happened to grab you right when you came off the field with your daughter, and now to ride on the duck boat. I mean, what was it like?
It was great. I mean, the energy out there was amazing. Just to see how happy the people in the city were, that was pretty awesome to see.
You know, baseball's a business. You're a free agent. You may not be back here, but if you are, you're gonna have. If you're not, you're gonna have some unbelievable memories, aren't you?
Absolutely. The last 3 years here have definitely molded me as a man, and not just a man, but a ball player as well. The style of baseball that's played here, the need to win and the want to win. I mean, that's the only atmosphere you ever want to play in as a ball player. So it's been unbelievable.
I would imagine if it's your choice, you'd like to be back here with the Red Sox.
I mean, look at this team. It's kind of hard to say no to that. So if we can work something out, I'd be more than pleased to stay here for quite a few more years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You just got off the docks at your last.
All right, let's see who else we got. We got Eduardo Rodriguez. We got Matt Barnes. There's Xander Bogaerts. We'll get Bogey over here. I'll tell you, dealing with Xander, he's one of the classiest athletes I've ever dealt with. He's still a young man, an amazing athlete, but just a class guy. Xander, we'll grab you real quick. Come on, man. Just want a reaction for being on the duck boat after I built him up being classy. They're with their families, too. Here comes J.D. Martinez. J.D., you ever seen anything like that?
Never.
That crowd?
Never. That was nuts, man. That was absolutely crazy.
Overwhelming?
I don't even know. It was wild.
I remember the day you walked in. We were the only cameras there. When you walked in the first day, you hadn't signed yet, any of that. And now close your eyes and wake up, and you just got off a duck boat parade with millions of people. It is a dream, isn't it?
There were so many people. It was a dream. I kind of feel awkward doing this interview right now just because it was a fun boat ride.
Really?
Yeah, it was a good boat ride right now. So I'm going to leave you with that before I get it.
I get it. All right, this is J.D. Martinez. Let's see who else we can get here. There's Chris Sale. Let's grab Chris real quick. Chris, a man, a few words right now.
All the players we can out here.
Let's see who else we can get over here. Kenyatta, how you doing, pal? Let's see who else we can get over here. We got to stalk them down. We got to hunt them down. Yeah, another parade in Boston, the 11th in 15, 16 years since 2002. Just ho-hum. Linda, how was the parade? Incredible? Really? How many for you now?
Oh, this is my second parade.
Second parade.
And just to see a whole city was smiling. We had David Ortiz and Pedro on our boat, so there were a lot
Lucky you.
I know, there were a lot of very excited people.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, you too.
Linda Pizzuti Henry right there, talking about the boat ride and the championship. Here comes Eduardo Nunez. Now watch this. I'm going to ask him about passing the baton, which was the baton, which he couldn't say in English. We'll let him stay there. Jason Veritek with some tired children right there. That's his job. This is Catherine Veritek. We'll put you on TV, all right?
How are you?
You know, we don't need Jason on TV. How was the boat ride?
Good. I mean, that was absolutely insane. Not about us. These fans that came out were so, like, they were a part of it. I mean, I got hit in the face by a beer.
You did?
I'm okay with that.
You're okay?
They were so into it. They were so a part of why these men are here.
Awesome.
And if it wasn't for them, I mean, they're the ones that truly keep these guys going.
Nice.
The good, the bad, the ugly, they stand by them and they carry on, and that's what these guys live for.
Thanks, Catherine.
That's what it's all about.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, we get some reaction there. Where did Eduardo Nunez go? Did he take off? There's Jackie Bradley. There's Larry Lucchino. There's, all right, we'll grab Jackie in a second. Head over to Jackie.
Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping. Congratulations.
Jackie, quick one for you. How was it?
It's good.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Have you ever had that? I mean, you get a lot of adoration here at Fenway Park, but what was it like with that many people on this day?
It was amazing. It was truly amazing. It's something that I never even thought, could be that big.
but I think it really shows the support that we have. It goes down to everybody who, got this thing to, work, staff, police officers.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You don't get to do this every day.
Well, we say this in the media. I'll let you go after this one. Is baseball is such a different sport because of the amount of games, because of the people that work at it. And when you win, when the players win, I just like your comment on this. The entire Red Sox organization wins, and partly because you're so close with everybody in this organization, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot of things to go right, and whether it's the medical staff, the people directing the people in, it's going to take everybody, and we're greatly appreciative that we feel like we have the best organization.
You going to get some sleep now?
Yeah, absolutely. I get sleep every night.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
Jackie.
appreciate
Thank you. Thanks for a great year.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's see who else we can. Tony La Russa on the phone, though. Trying to get Mr. La Russa on TV. He's a world champ. He's been a world champ many times.
So this is
we'll wait till he gets off the phone. But of course, Tony La Russa won world championships with the St. Louis Cardinals. If he doesn't get off this phone, I won't be rude. So, Mr. La Russa, you've
Navy SEAL who's now an astronaut. You just called from Moscow.
Are you kidding me?
I swear.
To congratulate you?
He went, but the guy tonight, a big Cardinal fan.
You've experienced this feeling at different levels. What's it like at this level for you?
Front office?
Yeah.
It's the first time in the front office.
Yeah.
And I'm overwhelmed with how long they work. There's no off season for these guys and ladies. And then it's when the game starts, everything is in the hands of the guys in uniform. So they actually have it easier because they're busy. Up there, we're dying with every pitch, and you're helpless. So, but I'm really impressed. I've been around now 3 or 4 organizations, and the connection between ownership, front office, and going right through player development. I mean, everybody respects everybody else. Everybody's pulling for everybody. There's no BS.
And finally, if there are more passionate baseball fans than Boston, they're in St. Louis. And you've experienced the parade in St. Louis, but what was this one like here?
It was different. St. Louis, you come down the hill towards the arch, and then you see it, and then they do the rally in the ballpark. But I mean, I've obviously watched the Patriots and and 3 of the Red Sox ones, and those boats, and it makes a fascinating picture on TV to do it in person. It was really special. The thing is, a championship, it's amazing how happy the team makes a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, people are really, really happy.
Yeah. The whole region here.
Yeah, and that's the biggest takeaway for me. Not just the audience, but fans they really enjoy it. So it's good to see it.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's keep going around here as we got Jackie Bradley. See who else we can get here. What's interesting here is here's Mookie Betts. We'll get over there and hustle. Oh, he's doing looks like a Spanish interview here. We're on live.
And it's a surprise for you guys just winning the fight.
Yeah, I mean, great group of guys here, and we do. This, like I said, this is why we play the game.
What do you believe that's making this team so special?
Just the camaraderie. Everybody loves each other. We have a great manager, great front office, and it's just all comes together.
Thank you. Keep it enjoying.
Right, thank you.
Everything you thought it would be.
Flight to catch. Yeah, I do have a flight to catch. I got real quick.
Everything you thought it would be.
It was everything and more. I mean, something that I'll never forget.
What's it like to have all those fans? Right? I mean, you hear them at the park out here, but
it's amazing. Just see them up close and personal. During the game, I don't really get to see them that much, but to get to see everybody, it's definitely something special.
Was there a moment that stands out from the parade today?
I mean, just the amount of seeing the amount of people. It's just something that's I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
You get some sleep. 35,000 out there. You got about 1 million.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Will you get some sleep now?
Yeah, I'm about to go get some sleep now.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
One more thing, David Price. David Price.
All right, Adam, come over here. We'll obviously, a lot of these guys are exhausted. You can just see it, hear it in their voices. There's Dave Dombrowski. Let's go over and Hijack Dave Dombrowski. Oh, got on the phone. Was going to grab your. I got you, Dave. Yep. He's probably making a deal right now in the off season, getting it done. You know, that could be the new Red Sox closer if Craig Kimbrell doesn't sign here. We got Brian Johnson over there, who was not on the playoff rosters, but was a big part of them getting there. We got a bunch of people in center field still looking for a few of the players to come in. This is the scene at Fenway Park after the 2018 Red Sox World Championship Parade. You got media members here. You got all these people out on the field. By the way, I'm right at first base. It's pretty cool standing here. By the way, let me just show some people, if you've never had the chance to do this, look at how big right field is here. Just look at how much room there is out in right field. It's ridiculous. I mean, people talk about other parks and how Fenway's so small. Not right field. Mookie Betts patrols this, and when you watch him make a catch when he's running and he doesn't have to dive, that's how good he is. It always strikes me when I've had the opportunity, fortunately, to come out on this field, how big right field is here at Fenway. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and then we'll get some other players for you and some more reaction from the two. Oh, Alex Cora is coming right now. Let's see if we can grab Alex right now. We'll get him while he's walking. Here, Adam, walk backwards and then we'll get Alex. Alex, we'll keep you walking so you won't stop. What was it like with all those people?
It was amazing. It was amazing. For the players to enjoy that, it was great. In the personal note, to have my family here, Angelica and the kids and Camila, my mother, and everybody, and be able to see the love and the passion for this team, it was very gratifying.
And how about the fact that everything started a year ago with what happened in your homeland, and I'm sure you were proud to represent them.
No, I mean, I've never seen so many Puerto Rican flags in Boston. And if that was crazy, I can't wait for Saturday. Saturday is going to be amazing back home.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, there's Alex Cora. Let's go to a quick break now, and then we'll come back with more live from Fenway Park.
First Lady arriving.
Hello to everyone who is on our stream here on YouTube today or our website, fox5dc.com. Happy Halloween. Hope you're all having a great day. Obviously, we are covering the Boston Red Sox World Championship Parade in Boston this morning. It is live. People have gone in costume. They're dressing up as fans, of course, as they are. And Boston is celebrating today. So they started around 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we've been covering this really for the majority of our stream here today. But there are a lot of other topics to talk about. We are 6 days away from Election Day, and President Trump is out there doing his rallies across the nation tonight. He'll be in Florida for that, and the Vice President is actually out at multiple Get Out the Vote rallies this week, supporting candidates for Congress as well. And then we're also talking about that tragedy in Pittsburgh from over the weekend. So we're going to continue on with some more top stories as we get into the afternoon. But as much as we have it, we want to go back to this parade. They have the manager, Alex Cora, was just on the field there at Fenway, and some other people now. So let's go back to the parade.
Alex Cora was hit?
Yes.
Is he all right?
Fine.
He seems fine.
Just glanced him off the shoulder.
So give us a look at the trophy, because the trophy was not hit, right? It's all set. All right, good news to hear. Charlie, thank you very much.
All right, Butch. Charlie, we don't have this is the 07 trophy.
That's the 07. That's the 07 trophy. That's only between you and I right now anyway, so he had no idea it was on live television. All right, let's go. Let's see where else we find. Jared Carabas right there. Brian Johnson. You know, I think the other guys might have snuck by us. Either that or they're not here yet. See if they're out there with their families. Trying to find any others. There's a lot more guys that haven't been in yet. We saw Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley, Mookie Betts. Haven't seen Andrew Benintendi.
Saw Blake Swihart.
Saw Blake Swihart. We saw Blake Swihart. Price and Brock Holt. We got to get a hold of David Price. We definitely do not want to miss him. Just to double confirm what he said before the parade and make sure we get reaction of all of that. And we'll see what happens with that. It is a spectacular day here, too. I think you all know that. But what a day for a parade. And the weather was just absolutely perfect. And all the players, if you're just tuning into us now, the parade has ended, but the party still goes on for the 2018 Red Sox. Matter of fact, Adam, if you could shoot the scoreboard. Nope, right out here. Making everybody dizzy. You can see it says LA Boston 2018 World Champs on the scoreboard. Everybody taking advantage. You know, I grew up when if one person was standing on this field, Joe Mooney, the former groundskeeper, legendary groundskeeper, would have had a heart attack. And now you've got everybody who comes on the field, runs around the field, takes pictures, which is a great thing. But again, Joe Mooney would have a heart attack if that ever happened. Let's go talk to Brian Johnson over here. I know he's had a good time. As we're waiting here for David Price to come in and Brock Holt and some others, people are taking pictures. It looks like they'll be coming in any second, and we will try to get a hold of them. What a magical season for these guys. You know, if you think about it, once J.D. Martinez signed with them, they became the prohibitive favorites early on. And I think the one thing I'll take away from this season is they did something that's... Yeah, I know. They did something that is the hardest to do in Boston sports, is to win in any sport, to win when you're expected to win. And they did. Think about it. You know, I don't think we could take that for granted. They weren't defending champs. The Houston Astros were defending champs, but the Patriots know all too well. It has been remarkable the way they've handled it, what it's like to try and win when everybody's got your number and you're expected to win. But the Red Sox were expected to win, and they did. And they just rolled through the playoffs. If you, again, think about that. When they lost to the Yankees, boom, 2 games on the road, never lost again. When they lost to the Astros back here, boom, 3 games in Houston, never lost again. And then when they lost that 18-inning game to the Dodgers, boom, 2 games, they win the World Series. As somebody said to me, you know, they said it could have been a close series. A close series, the Dodgers won 1 game and it took 18 innings for them to win it. So really what these Red Sox did was remarkable. Craig Kimbrell said after the game on the field, it's the greatest Red Sox team ever. I mean, personally, a lot of us know the 2004 team will be special and probably holds that spot in most of our hearts. But here comes Brock Holt. We'll grab him real quick. Brock, real quick. You got to pee. Everybody's got to pee. So he'll be back out. But, you know, by numbers alone, 119 wins, they are the greatest Red Sox team ever. You can't stop a guy from having to go to the bathroom. I mean, you could, but that could be very dangerous for, you know, his bladder could explode. You see the movie What About Bob? Sure. His bladder could explode, I know it. But he'll be back out. We'll get Brock. Brock will be there, and we'll see who else. We got to get David Price. He might have snuck around somewhere. But he made that announcement early today that he's coming back. He's opting in. $127 million guaranteed to him. He would have had to say goodbye to that if he was not going to come back to the Boston Red Sox. And that would have been a very tough decision for him. I honestly don't know if there was another team out there that was going to give him a guaranteed $127 million. But there was still question whether he would opt in and come back to the Boston Red Sox. I honestly didn't think he would, just from being around the team and what he went through. But, you know, he experienced the highest of highs after maybe the lowest of lows, and he's decided to come back. We've got Joe Castiglione over here. Let me see if I can grab Joe real quick. Hey, Joe, is one of these your Jane? Yes. Where's Jane? I'm going to show you guys the picture on my phone in a minute, but when Mr. Castiglione here fell off his chair, his granddaughter Jane here put this picture together. How did you do that? How long did it take you?
It only took a few minutes.
It took a few minutes. I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone, but there's a picture of Joe because he fell in Houston on the last out that she put him in a baby chair with pine tar on his hands. Like, are you an expert at Photoshop?
No, not really.
I think you are. We have some job openings at Boston 25. You should get your resume in now. How old are you?
12.
You can bring them along with you too, okay? We'll hire you in a second. I know you have connections at other stations in town, but that's okay. We'll bring you aboard. How much fun was this to have this family with you?
This was great. They loved it, and I think 4 of these, and they've all had all the grandkids, and kids have had a chance to be a part of it, which is the Red Sox way, and it really was a special thrill after this great season to be out there and see the fans in New England, and some very, very creative fans too with their signs, especially about Machado.
You didn't. You were stable on the boat. You didn't lose any of your footing or anything. Right?
I did not. I was strapped in a seatbelt.
And I'll leave you with this. The little birdie showed me some video of you falling, so I know it's out there. I know it'll never make air, but I know that video is out there.
Yeah, it happened. Our engineer, he didn't get the total shot, but he got the aftermath. And,
congratulations on a great season.
Thank you, Butch. It was a wonderful season with a great group of guys, the most selfless, team-oriented group I've ever been around.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
you know better than anybody, and nice to meet your grandkids.
Thank you.
All right, Joe. All right, Joe Castiglione. Watch it behind you, Adam, the voice of the Red Sox. We got the trophy over here and people posing with it. Brock Holt, I guess, took his bathroom break and then took off. See if we can get Matt Barnes here. Hey, Matt, just a quick one. Where's Adam? There you are. What was it like with that many people out there?
It was insane, man. It was absolutely insane. The city's awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
And to see that many people come out and show support for us was fantastic.
You know, when you get on the mound, you're so focused, but this ballpark is different than any other ballpark, as I think all athletes tell you. But what was it like to not have to be so focused and really get the adoration of the fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. You know, you go out there and you grind for 8 or 9 months and in hopes of bringing home a championship, and we were able to do that this year, and it was awesome the way that everybody came out from the city of Boston. It really was.
So next year, and if you happen to give up a home run and they boo you, you'll be like, wait a minute, you'll think back to the parade, these moments, right?
I promise you I'll be more mad than anybody if I give up that homer. So, but no, today was a lot of fun. It really was.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Matt Barnes, Red Sox reliever. Yeah, looking for some other Red Sox folks that we could talk to. Oh yeah. Adam banging into people. Steve Lyons is next to me, but who wants to hear from him? Oh, hi, Steve. How are you? How you doing?
Good, man. What's happening?
What made this team special, seriously?
The completeness of who they were as a team. I think they could do everything. You know, and I think they were a throwback team. They were a throwback team to being a complete baseball team that grinded out at bats. They weren't an all or nothing launch angle team. They weren't a team that either hit home runs or didn't do anything. And there's so many of those out there right now. And you saw what team ended up winning.
Well, I think you'd have a lot of respect for that because honestly, we've known each other for a long time now, and we've had this conversation before. And you say this with pride. You say that a big part of the reason you had the career that you did, as long as it was, is that it was hard to cut you because you were a Swiss Army knife, right? So at the end of it, you know, you filled a lot of roles, and you were kept on a roster. No disrespect to what you did a lot of things really, really well, right? So to watch this team, they had a lot of those guys on this team.
It's because Alex Cora, that's what he did. He was a guy who could bounce around and play different positions, so he always appreciated versatility. You saw all the guys that he wanted on this team to be versatile. You know, you see Blake Swihart playing all over the diamond, even though he's a catcher. We saw Brock Holt come in a few years ago and do that. Brock Holt played first base on the very day they taught him how to play first base one time. So, you know, guys that could bounce around and play different positions were very valuable to this team and very valuable to what Alex Cora wants to do.
Thanks for all your help this year.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. Anytime, man. I'll be back, I hope.
Steve Lyons, looking for, there's Garen Austin now, posing with the trophy. Nesson reporter and our colleague with our partnership with Nesson. Okay, looks like I don't think we saw David Price come in here, guys. You know, we were all looking for him. We're all waiting, and I don't see him anymore. So why don't I'll see if I can find anybody else out here, and I'll throw it back to you guys. Ak and Vanessa?
All right, Butch, incredible work out there. How about that? He got Craig Kimbrell to say if they can work out a deal, he wants to stay. That was awesome. Then we heard from Mookie Betts saying this is a feeling that he will remember for the rest of his life, the feeling that he experienced today on that duck boat.
And they said, you know, each time when he asked, what did you think? They said, I looked out into a sea of people, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
It just took my breath away. J.D. Martinez just feels like he's in dream sequence right now. Doesn't want to be woken up, but he said it's unbelievable. It just floors you to see the fans that close from a duck boat for that far a distance and that far back, and there's basically about 1 million people.
And hearing from those players, you get the sense that they love this just as much as we do. They had just as much fun today as we do. So we just want to say thanks to the Red Sox for a magical, incredible season. It has been such a fun ride.
This team never quit. They wanted to do damage. Damage done. Mission accomplished. Your Red Sox, Boston Red Sox 2018 World Series champions. Can you believe it? The 4th time now. There was a day when we thought just one would be nice. We'll take 4 at any time. Now a look back at what was a memorable Red Sox victory parade right here on Boston 25. We'll see you later on today, guys.
So I went to the umpire to tell him that Chris was coming in and Jackie was going to play defense. And then I look to right field and I see Chris coming in and the rest of the bullpen giving him a standing ovation. The guy we've been waiting the whole season. And I turn around to Ron Rennick and I say, we've been waiting for this guy the whole season.
Strike 2.
Fastball, 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 slider.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. The Red Sox win the World Series.
And now we're the world champs. Amazing. Amazing.
And you hear the MVP champs. It's Chris Sale giving us a little bit of taste of that Game 4 dugout.
Time to party!
It was an amazing run. It was an amazing year. And you guys make it that special. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
If you're looking at Medicare options, like we were, it's not always clear which plan is the right choice for you.
But the answer is right here. Tufts Health Plan.
Get a Medicare plan that gives you more health care benefits with comprehensive coverage for medical services, hospital stays, vision and hearing.
Even prescriptions, dental, and eyewear.
And you can see the doctors and specialists you already know and trust.
You'll also get a Medicare plan that limits your out-of-pocket costs with predictable copays on everyday things like doctor visits and prescriptions.
Plus, you get added financial protection that caps what you spend. And Tufts Health Plan offers lots of plan options as low as $0 a month.
So, join the Medicare Advantage plan with the most members in Massachusetts.
And the best possible rating.
The President and First Lady arriving in Pittsburgh Tuesday, meeting with victims and community members after Saturday's deadly synagogue attack. Even before landing in Pennsylvania, the President's visit was highly criticized. Some community members charged the President with part of the blame for the shooting, pointing to his self-declared nationalism and past comments attacking minority groups. They believe his incendiary speech helped motivate the accused gunman, who harbored a deep hatred of Jews.
President Trump's rhetoric and President Trump's policies have paved the way for the type of white nationalist violence that has devastated our community.
Jewish leaders even drafted an open letter asking him to stay away. But the city remains focused on the 11 victims and their funerals. Large crowds gathering at Pittsburgh's largest and oldest synagogue, Rodef Shalom Temple, to say goodbye to a pair of brothers. Cecile and David Rosenthal were said to be inseparable and among the most prominent members of the Tree of Life Synagogue. Services for Daniel Stein and Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz also being held Tuesday. A full week of funerals is the next phase in what will be a painful, lengthy recovery.
Fortunately, this community has had a long, decade-long history of working together, helping each other.
The 46-year-old suspected gunman is being held in federal custody without bail. He's set to appear for a preliminary hearing on Thursday. He's been charged with hate crimes and faces the death penalty. In Pittsburgh, Matt Finn, Fox News.
Now, the president is making an argument here about how to interpret the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, and specifically whether it applies to the children of parents who are in the country illegally. As multiple caravans make their way north from Central America bound for the U.S. border, the president was asked about an issue that has been circulating behind the scenes at the White House: ending birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment. Right. Guess what? Amendment. You don't. You don't. Number one, you don't need that. Number two, I mean, that's in dispute. You could definitely that's very much in dispute. Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order.
The president making that argument in an Axios interview airing on HBO this Sunday. The 14th Amendment says that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. But do children of illegal immigrants fit that bill? Are they truly subject to the jurisdiction of the country?
All of this debate turns on these 6 rather ill-chosen words as to what was meant by being subject to the jurisdiction of the United States.
The Supreme Court has never really answered that specific question, but there are plenty of critics among constitutional scholars. And even Speaker of the House Paul Ryan told a Kentucky radio station yesterday that it can't be done.
Obviously cannot do that. You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order. We didn't like it when Obama tried changing immigration laws via executive action, and obviously as conservatives, we believe in the Constitution.
And it is tough to ignore the timing of all of this. Immigration has long been the president's signature issue, and those midterm elections are next week. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
It's in the process. It'll happen with an executive order.
For 150 years, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution has conferred citizenship to children born on U.S. soil. But with 3 migrant caravans setting their sights on the United States southern border, President Trump would like to change that.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment. Guess what? Amendment.
The 14th Amendment states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. But the White House is zeroing in on the 5 words, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, to possibly make a case that people who cross the border illegally may not be eligible for constitutional protections.
The Supreme Court of the United States has never ruled on whether or not the language of the 14th Amendment, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, applies specifically to people who are in the country illegally. And I think the president's looking at executive action. I know the Congress has looked at legislative action to reconsider that.
The issue of birthright citizenship came up early in the 2016 campaign. Donald Trump and Jeb Bush both highlighting the problem of what they called anchor babies and taking sharp criticism for it.
If there's another term that I can come up with, I'm happy to hear it.
Now, a week before the midterms, President Trump has picked up that torch again.
We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
The United States is not the only country to confer birthright citizenship. More than 30 others, including Canada, also do. But some countries, like the UK and Australia, have rescinded birthright citizenship laws. While President Trump would like to end it with an executive order, leaders from his own party say the only way to do it is through a constitutional amendment.
Well, you obviously cannot do that. You cannot end birthright citizenship with an executive order.
Democrats accuse the president of manufacturing an issue in the final hours to deflect from what voters really care about, health care. In a statement, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi saying the president does not have the power to erase parts of the Constitution. Clearly, Republicans will do absolutely anything to divert attention away from their votes to take away Americans' health care. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham seemed to agree it would take a constitutional amendment and said he'd introduce legislation to do it. But on principle, he was in lockstep with the president, in a statement saying, finally, a president willing to take on this absurd policy of birthright citizenship. This policy is a magnet for illegal immigration out of the mainstream of the developed world and needs to come to an end. The urgency to stop the caravan is increasing. In an impromptu press conference this afternoon, the head of the U.S. Northern Command, General Terrence O'Shaughnessy, said this caravan is different than we've seen in the past. We've seen violence coming out of the caravan, and we have seen as they pass other international borders them behave in a nature that we have not seen in the past. At the White House, John Roberts, Fox News.
To the border they go. New video released by the Department of Defense showing more than 5,000 active duty troops deployed to the Mexico border. It's part of President Trump's response to Central Americans heading for the U.S., hoping to seek asylum and refuge.
I think the president has made it clear that border security is national security. That is the direction we've given. That's the direction we're marching to. Our orders are very clear. We are engaged. We're here to support CBP, and we're going to secure the border.
The troops will be limited in what they can actually do. Federal law blocks the military from exercising any kind of law enforcement on American soil. They cannot detain any of the migrants, and they're not able to try and prevent anybody from entering the U.S. Instead, the troops will mostly have a supporting role. National Guard personnel already in the region, and the new troops are expected to assist in various border missions. Tasks like providing helicopter support, installing barriers, maintaining vehicles, and crowd control. One woman heading north from Honduras says she will not be deterred.
It's been on the news that they have the military there at the U.S. border and everything, and that they're going to send more and more, but our path is there.
Many of the migrants have reportedly abandoned their North American trek, some deciding to seek refugee status in Mexico, others accepting the Mexican government's offer to help them get back to their native countries. Ken Duffy, Fox News.
President Trump is looking to end birthright citizenship for some babies born in the United States. Speaking with Axios on HBO, the president says he wants to get rid of the constitutional right of becoming an American citizen for children of non-citizens born on U.S. soil. Such a move would surely cause a major legal battle and stir up controversy in Washington.
We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
Immigration remains at the forefront as President Trump campaigns ahead of the midterm elections. The Pentagon sending 5,200 troops to the southern border as this massive caravan of Central American migrants travels through Mexico, hoping to reach the U.S. They will be armed and perform what are being called mission-enhancing capabilities.
Orders are very clear. We are engaged. We're here to support CBP, and we're going to secure the border.
It needs by those troops and the possibility of an end to birthright citizenship not doing much to stop this caravan. Thousands are still trying to make it to the U.S. You can see many of them waiting on a bridge, hoping to hitch a ride. And at least 2 more caravans have been inspired by this caravan, one along the Guatemala-Mexico border and another originating in El Salvador. In Oaxaca, Mexico, I'm Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
were just volunteers talking about the health care vote coming up.
Repealing Obamacare has been President Trump's top priority since taking office, but now red state voters may be poised to strengthen it. Volunteers are going door to door in states that opted not to expand Medicaid under Obamacare, building support for ballot initiatives that would offer affordable health care coverage for low-income residents. At least 4 western states, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, and Utah, are voting on the measures this year, allowing them to tap millions of dollars in federal funding for health care.
We thought Medicaid expansion was something that was big and monumental and that would improve people's lives on a grand scale.
The initiatives are backed by medical and business groups, but opposed by many conservatives who say folks could end up paying more than they expect.
We believe it discourages work. It's going to take money from other priorities like schools and roads.
But there seems to be plenty of popular support for the expansion, with most early voters indicating they're behind it. And if the measures are approved in these western states, it could raise some serious questions about whether President Trump will ever be able to completely eliminate Obamacare.
I have friends and family and acquaintances that have really tragic things they're trying to deal with.
They got jobs, they got families they take care of. Just with the rest of their bills, they just can't afford the rates that they are charging.
If voters in all 4 states approve the ballot measure, some 400,000 residents could get access to health insurance. In Washington, Doug McKelway, Fox News.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, we're back in the newsroom here on this Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone. Hope that you've enjoyed the stream today. Mostly that Boston Red Sox parade up in Boston. Pretty exciting day for them. That video did cut for us. And right now, just kind of scrolling through some of the top stories of the day. We're going to keep our eye out for any other breaking video for you, and we'll bring that to you live as it does happen. Stay on with us, though, and subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a special stream for Election Day next Tuesday. That is November 6th. So we'll be on for you there. And like we said, we'll keep this going. If anything breaks inside our newsroom, we'll bring it to you on this Halloween day. So happy Wednesday, happy Halloween to you, and we'll catch you again on the stream tomorrow.